Buenos dias!
Good morning!
Hi everyone, we are so excited to be here today. We are going to teach you how to build a brand, but first I want to introduce myself. My name is Itzel. I am a graphic designer, illustrator, and business owner, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Andrea Campos. I'm an author, illustrator, and also a small business owner.
Yay! Super excited. Where are you all joining us from today? I see a lot of people in the chat already. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Elisandra. Super excited. And this is a two-parter, so we're going to start with part one. We are going over Adobe Express tricks for small business owners. Alrighty, let's get started. Yay, there we go. Okay, so we are in Adobe Express right now. And first of all, I'm going to start with showing you, we're building a brand, which is here in this section. And I just want to click it so you can kind of get an idea of like what it's going to look like. We're going to live in here in a second. But first, we're going to go to our homepage. And I just want to show you, if you don't have a logo, then you can go in here and then we can start by designing your own. Have you ever tried that feature?
I've slowly been building out my brand within the Adobe Express brand. I think like once you learn how to do it, it takes some time to set up, but once it's there, it's so useful because you have this like great little reference tool that you can use to make sure that everything you do is locked and loaded and how it should be for the work that you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. And here we're just like scrolling. I just want to show you the options. Like this morning coffee club is so cute.
Oh, cute.
But right now, I just want to create, let's see, like a fake little bakery. I had seen something earlier today. Where did it go?
What kind of vibe do you want your bakery to have, this bakery
Just
business?
Cute. Just cute and fun. So, yeah, I think we're going to start by I just want to show you how easy it is to create your own logo if you don't have one. But then we're going to go into what to do if you do have one ready. First, so I just picked this one to start with, and I like this little illustration here. I want to call it something different, so let's see.
I like how they mixed up the fonts there. It adds a nice dimension to it.
Yeah, me too. So I think I want to stay with that. I think this fake business is going to be called Pastel. Someone's hungry.
I am hungry. I'm always hungry for cake.
Someone's hungry, and it's definitely me. Okay. Yeah, and like Andrea said, I really like this different font vibe, so we're going to go. I can't type today. Okay. There we go. So this is, let's group it, and then we want to say panadería.
Cute.
Okay, so let's group this. And thank you. Let's see. Let's change the colors. We definitely want this to be more fun and cute. So
if there's one thing Itzel does really well, it's making fun and cute graphics. If you haven't already taken a look at her work, she's Yay Itzel on Instagram and other platforms, and you'll just see that she has a clear vision for her brand, how she shows up in the world, and I think it's so cool that she's kind of showing you how to think through all of those processes from someone who does it so well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
This is fun for me to see you doing it live.
So I think, yeah, let's see. I mean, this might be too funky, but let's go with it. It doesn't matter. This background, though, is pretty... I think we're just going to go...
Oh.
I know. I was like, whoa, what's going on back there?
It kind of looks like frosting, though. It could work for a certain type of, like, bakery, but I don't know if it's the right fit for pastel panadería.
Yeah, I don't know either. There. So, let's not check spelling for now. And then this one, I do like this. So, I mean, maybe this is like our fake little brand.
I feel like this is the kind of bakery that you would go to and they would have a really sweet rainbow cake. Like,
yes.
so I would go here. I would try whatever kind of cool gradient pastelitos that they're offering based off of just the logo.
I know, same. I think I'm definitely that kind of person. A logo will absolutely get me.
Sold, yeah.
Sold. Cute branding, sold.
I think some people in the comments agree too. Someone saying that, I love it. It's fun and cute. So
Thank you so much. That's a cool background. Yeah, it is a cool background actually, and it came with it. But for this, so let's say this is our logo and this is Pastel Panaderia. And then let me see if I go to my home. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we have this little, like our logo ready to go. And that's just in case you don't have a logo already. Then you can go in and play around and, oh no, 1 second.
I think Adobe Express does a great job of just giving you templates to use as a jumping off points for logos and other things. And I think as Itzel just showed you, the best thing you can do with those templates is use them as launching points and make sure that you customize the color and the vibe so that it better suits whatever you're trying to do as a small business owner and whatever you're trying to do for your brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I don't know what was happening there, but we are back.
But you're back.
Yes. And whoa, that is.
Ooh,
I was just.
That's a different vibe too. That's a different pastel.
I know.
Emphasis on the S there.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. This one's a fake little brand. You can go in and pretend and play and like add way more things to it, and we can revisit it later. But let me see. Am I too in the way of my own work? I mean, it's fine.
Scoot over.
Tell me. You guys tell me if I need to move. But now I want to go in and show you. There we go. Thank you. Magic. Wow. And so I want to show you what it would be like if you create your own brand with an existing asset. So actually, let me go to the home, and you would find the brand section here, and you would click this area right here, create brand. And so I'm gonna work today with a brand that's actually existing. This is Pixley's Oddities. It's a shop in San Diego. My friend owns it, and it's really cute, and she hired me to design her logo years ago. And so I'm gonna pretend like I'm building her brand today in Express, and I'm gonna show you how I would go about building a brand inside of Express using the brand libraries. So first of all, let's upload our logo since we already have it ready to go.
Cute.
Yeah, okay, so that's the logo right here. And then we're just gonna add all our assets. Let's see, that's the same one. Okay, yeah. The fairies by themselves. And then we can go into the color section and create a color palette. And I know her colors are pink. I mean, in a perfect world, just I drop your who is
sorry,
it? I'm moving. In a perfect world, just I drop the hex color in like anywhere in like Photoshop or Illustrator. But right now, I'm gonna eyeball it because I know her colors really well. I mean, you can also just choose it as you go. And then we play with the blue a lot, so we're gonna do that. And then we also use a lot of black.
And you can change this at any time, right? If you just
at any time, yeah, absolutely.
So if you're kind of still playing around with what you want your brand colors to be, I think this is a nice way to test out how different things that you're creating look. And if you're like, you know what, black, not my vibe, just go in and quickly edit those colors.
Yeah, it's super easy. And then here we have the font section, so you can add any font that you want and use it for your templates, which we're going to be using later. We're going to be creating a flyer. But let's see, what do I feel like her vibe is? We have some quirky. Let me know if something jumps at you. I feel like normally I use something kind of round, maybe like.
Can you search round in the fonts? Would that help kind of narrow it down?
I don't think you can actually. Oh, this looks kind of like it. Like a sans serif, like a round sans serif. Let me try this. Perfect. And then I just want to add a few more fonts. As you can see, it's also here on the top right. And
we have a question in the chat.
Yes.
Someone is asking, so I have an existing logo. Is there a way in Express to find something similar to what I have? From a template perspective, I think there probably is. If you know what the key points of your existing logo are, you should be able to go into the logo templates that Itzel showed you and kind of search, bold graphic, blue, cups, whatever kind of the key visuals are, and use that as a jumping off point.
Yeah, definitely. You can always go and add in, and I'll show you right now, extra assets and whatnot that match the logo that you already have. So I think these fonts will do. I saw a
Cute.
Let me see. There's something more bold. So, okay, these are my 3 fonts. And then assets. So for this, I'm going to show you. Let me see if it lets me. Oh, before I jump off. So right now, as you can see, I have my Pixley's Oddities folder in here. And if I click it, it separates it. So I can see my logos in this section, my colors in this section, and then my fonts. And then when you hit view all view all, then you can go in and like see everything that's inside your folder.
I love how organized it keeps everything.
Yeah, me too. And so as you can see, like I have my own for my personal brand over here. I'll just show you real quick. So it's my logos, my colors, and then assets, which is like my little face icon that I use. My little face.
Cute.
And so you were asking about the brands, the logos, right? I can show you. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So if you go to the logo section, and you can see in Elements, you can search here for whatever you want to try to use for your brand. I don't know if that's what you were referring to, Jeff, but maybe in this section, in the Element section, is where you can find stuff that will relate to your logo. But okay, so now I'm going to show you a big part of how you create templates and flyers is you need icons and photos for it. Something I do all the time for my business is I take a lot of photos of my products. And so I normally take them at home, like I use whatever background, and I bring them in here, and then I remove the background so I can use them for the flyers. And that's something I do all the time. And so I want to show you how I would do that right now. So right here, we're still working with Pixley's Oddities. So we have a few of the products that she carries. I'm going to show you.
Cute.
So cute. Some stickers, some hats. And so you just bring it in here.
I love how cute this is, even though it says dead inside.
Oh, yeah. And so you can download it and it'll... Here, I'll just show you so you can get an idea in case you want to do that later. Wait, oh, not my trash.
Even your desktop is on brand.
I know, I know.
My desktop does not look like that. You'll see mine later. Mine is chaos, so I'm very impressed, it said.
Thank you. Yeah, so here we have it in my downloads. It's a high-res image. But now it doesn't have that background. So it doesn't matter where you take your photo, it's ready to go to be used in any of your flyers. But here I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna close this and then I'm gonna, where did it go? Okay, remove background. I'm gonna do that for the 3 images. let's see. Select it. And it does it on its own. You don't even have to click anything. Download. Perfect. And then my last image, the trucker hat. Where are you guys at? I feel like, okay, I see the chat at the top too.
Yeah, we have someone from Pakistan joining in. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Okay, download. Perfect. So now I have my 3 images. I can go back into my brand folder, select, and then this is an asset. So I'm gonna upload it. Here we go. I'm gonna upload my PNGs. Perfect. And now we have my image. It doesn't want to open it. And then, okay, well, it's in there.
It's nice and safe in there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna add the 3 of them because we're gonna keep making things with them. Okay, let's see. Where did my other one go? Oh, right here.
It does take some time to kind of set up these brand folders, and you may be thinking like, oh, do I like want to do this? And I think you'll see throughout the day that having these brand folders set up ultimately end up being time savers. They help you stay more organized. So definitely invest the extra time at the upfront to just like upload everything on there so that as you're experimenting with your brand or making flyers or decks or whatever it is, you have that as a reference point.
Yeah, it definitely makes it so much easier because otherwise you're going to have to be going in and uploading things every single time. So now if you create your brand, you have everything in one place. And so like I showed you, we have the logos, we have the colors, we have our fonts, and we have our assets. We're ready to go. And then once we create a template, then we can go in this section and that's where you're going to see it. But we don't have any yet, so that's why there's nothing in here, but we have our brand folder ready to go. So now I'm gonna show you the template section. Let's go in here. And I really love our template section. It's so fun. There's so many different options and great options to choose from. So let me see. Right now I'm going to pretend to design a flyer to promote one of the items, I think.
Cute.
Yes. So let's see. Let's look at the popular templates. I really like what we have in here.
There's so many options.
So many. Do I want a square? Do I want a story? And we have things for any event you might need in here.
I love how it categorizes that on the top. You can actually go through different themes. If you're like, no, this is for a college event, a birthday event. It just is a nice little time saver to have those organized.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, let's see what they have for Mother's Day.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So just any section you need, a graduation. They're all themed. Let's see. Do we have a Cinco de Mayo.
Wow.
Business card. Wanted to see if there was a small business, but I think we'd have to search it. Well, I think I want to do, I kind of like this.
Oh.
And you can also, if you find a template that you like, you can heart it and then it will be added to your favorites. So I'm going to add a few to my favorites and then we're going to pick. I think I'm liking that vibe. Oh, this illustration is so cute.
I'm drawn to the more colorful ones.
I know, same. Even though you can change your colors for any single one and make it your own, but I'm like, the colorful ones, yes, I want that one.
Kind of feels like you're online shopping for your own business. Like, where do you want to start off?
I know, so many options. Holiday sales, Christmas. This is a little early for Christmas, but let's see.
I think for a small business owner too, it's kind of helpful to see what templates exist because those are nice little reminders for like days that you should be showing up for your business online, like Mother's Day, obviously like other holidays, but it's nice that this kind of makes it easier to show up for things like Earth Day and celebrate different things.
I actually really love this Earth Day and this one. Even though we're not designing for Earth Day, I feel like that could be really fun if we edit it to fit our business. Just because it's so cute. So let's see. I'm gonna like one more and I want to show you what it looks like. Just liking all the Earth Day. I think because it has little faces on it. So I'm like, yes, cute. I love it.
If you're in the chat too, let us know how you use flyers in your business. Is it something that you put out in the real world? Is it something you're primarily only doing for social? Let us know.
Yeah. Okay, so
I like that groundhog.
I
Not
know.
on brand, but like kind of cute and silly.
So I think I've got enough favorited. Well, I do like this illustration, even though I don't know what I would use it for. But so now I'm gonna go view my favorites. And right here you can see everything that I've saved so far today and the day before today. I have everything that I like that I feel like maybe I can use that for my business one day. And so today I think I'm really getting, which one do I feel like doing? Maybe the spring lookbook. Let's see. So you select it and then you can hit customize template. And obviously we don't have a person, but we're gonna replace this for a sticker. And so we're gonna replace, here you can see in your brands, it'll just open everything up on the side. And so it will be so much easier to just select exactly what it is you want to use. So I think for this one, what do we feel? Maybe the sticker, the hat. Let's see.
You could place it in there and always, change your mind and edit it. I kind of like to see things visually laid out and then decide.
Yeah, let's see. Oh my gosh, what? Take it off of the square.
Perfect.
Okay.
Cute.
So cute. So there we have, this is gonna be, you know, I don't know what this is, made in July, but we don't need that. And what I can do is add something from my brands folder. Let me see, can I just insert? Oh yeah, perfect. So I just select here on my left side, you can see the brands. I just clicked it and then it opens it up. And so I think I'm gonna use my logo. Oh, what is it? Let me see, is this one the transparent? Oh
Yeah.
There we go.
Love a good little transparent background.
Yeah. So that way we brand the flyer, and we're gonna say new hat. What should we say?
Oh, putting me on the spot for copywriting. Stressful. Let's see.
This is fake, so it doesn't matter. New arrivals.
Yeah. New arrivals is classic. Or like new drop. I feel like everyone's about drops these days. You know?
New drops. New drop.
You know, I don't love the way drop looks.
I know. I'm not loving that
Let's
either.
just go with arrivals, and I think it'll look nicer.
Okay, perfect. So then we have our new arrivals, and then here, let's see, where is my... So we can start branding this flyer by like changing the fonts that this design came with, and we can change it to the fonts we picked that are on our fonts folder over here. So I'm gonna use that one, and then we're just gonna change the details on this. So perfect sun protection. I don't know the specs on this hat in real life, so we're gonna pretend, you guys.
UV protection hat.
Yeah.
Love that. It's important.
Tell me if you get any ideas for this. And then breathable material.
Is it like locally made, crafted by an artist? I think people like knowing
Yes.
where or who makes their products. I think that'd be something nice to call out on the flyer.
That's a great idea. And I know this, where is my font? Okay, let me send this to the back.
It should have sound effects, right?
I know.
I always feel that way whenever I use background remover. I'm like, oh, I wish there was like an elevator music type thing while it's circling. It only takes a few seconds, but still.
Where did... Okay, wait. My screen... My thing disappeared over here.
Oh, no.
Wait, do you know how to fix that?
I'm not sure how to... Well, maybe just... Oh, can you make it...
Like here?
Yeah, I see that.
No.
Oh. There we go.
Okay. I don't know what I pressed, but I got it.
You zoomed in too close to the...
I think so.
To the sun.
I think so. I was like, wait, no, my fonts. Yeah. So this was definitely locally printed. So we're going to go
Love that.
And say that.
Small businesses supporting small businesses. That's the way to do it.
Yes. And we are going to match up our fonts. Is that the same font? It was not.
It looks similar, but yeah, it's...
Okay, there we go. Everything's at 18. And actually, I want to center everything. So we're going to click this little symbol right here. I think this one's centered. And
it's so fun for me to be able to see how someone else's workflow goes. Because normally I'm just like in my head, like doing things. So this is kind of showing me how to use Express in a different way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I hadn't considered editing in that way, or I do things a little bit differently. So
I know it's always fun to see everyone's like process.
Yeah.
And
you learn that.
Yeah. And in here, we can fix the text spacing because I don't know if you guys can see, but this locally printed is very tight in there. So we're going to, let's see, we're going to space it out a little more. There we go. Okay. There we go. And this one's a little tight over here as well. Okay, perfect. And now we're gonna update some of the colors. So I don't know if you guys caught that because it was really fast, but essentially if you have a design and then you hit your color palette, it immediately changes it. And I'll show you real quick. So this is what it was before. And then I just select, wait, let me move out of the way. And then I just select the color palette here and it automatically makes it match your design.
I think another fun way to do that is sometimes by pressing apply brand. It can get kind of crazy because it'll change the fonts on you and stuff as well. And maybe you don't 100% want that, but it's fun to kind of see if you are starting off with a template, what apply brand can do, because it might give you a different idea where you weren't considering, using that color for that font or whatever, and using that as like a fun jumping off point before you actually get in there and manually edit.
Yeah, and I think maybe we'll do a second design right now, and then I'll do the apply brand just so we can see it. But let's see. Let's add a little bit. Oh, that's a little
drop shadow.
Yeah, let's add a little bit of something. Let's see our shadow options. Maybe that. Maybe, yeah. And then now this kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the base made more sense when there was a person standing there and it was intentionally kind of calling attention to that character.
But now we don't need that, so where is my...
I do like the star, though. That's cute.
I do love... Yeah, I love it, too. Here we go. But I think we're gonna...
Maybe you put, like, the brand name or something on the bottom?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Socials or something?
Just gonna try to rearrange this a little bit.
I feel like that's half the battle is just staying organized with your layers, because it can get, no matter what you're designing, I think it's so important to do that because it can get really messy when you're like, wait, this is on top of that. I want to just select this, especially when you have little design details. Like Itzel right now has those cute little stars. Those can be really hard to grab and move when there's so much other stuff going on. So just always be aware of your layers and what is landing where.
Yeah, perfect. And so, yeah, that's a great idea. I think I'm going to add the handle. Let me see, maybe just duplicate this here.
That's nice. Makes it easy.
What's hers? I'll do her Instagram. Pixley's Oddities. Well, I think our website's the same. So then we'll add our handles right here. And then also, if you move this to the center, you can see it helps you center it perfectly. You can see that pink line. Right, there we go. That pink line in the center. Just so you make sure that everything is looking right on your layout. And then her website.
And if you're not sure with that, you can always use the position button, and that'll make it like really, really clear, like that things are centered too.
Where is that one?
Right over here. If you click position.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can have it be like middle, center. And it just like moves it ever so slightly. And then you're like, okay, I got this. I'm not just eyeballing it.
There we go. And I think I want to make this hot pink. Just to match.
I like that.
But it feels like it needs to be bolder. Do you?
Yeah, you definitely want that to stand out, especially if that's where people are purchasing the hat.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm liking this. And I feel like this hat needs to be bigger.
So much of design is honestly just tinkering with images. And that's the nice thing about Adobe Express is that once you have something that you really like, you can save that as a template and go back to it. So for this business, for example, if Itzel's like, you know what, I love this design, let me save it as a template, and that can be the base for all the other things that are going to be part of this new collection that's launching. So that the next time she designs this poster, she just has to switch out the item and maybe like one or two of the key points because, each product is a little different, but it still feels very cohesive.
Yeah, perfect. So I think we have our flyer ready to go, at least this first one. I know I keep moving. Oh, wait, I didn't realize. Since I made this bigger, there we go. Okay, let's see. Hi, Penny. Penny Doodles is saying hi.
Ooh, Penny Doodles. What a cool handle name.
I know.
I'm a big fan of doodles.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, Andrea's handle is
Drea's Doodles. So a little biased with that.
Okay, perfect. So now we can do a few things. First of all, I can download it as a PNG. And there we go. Let me show you. Now I have my flyer ready to share to social media. Here, I'll move it.
Cute.
Yeah, it's ready. It's cute. And then I'm going to show you also how, if you wanted to, you can take what you made even further, which is what it says right here. But I'm going to show you because I do love that. So I made this and I wanted to send it out via email. And that would be great. But then I'm like, well, actually, I want to post it to Instagram maybe. And so you can select Instagram Square Post.
This is one of my favorite features because it saves so much time and having to like resize or rework, because before this, you were just doing that a lot.
Yeah. And so there you go. We have the square. Like, it took our same design and then I just made it into a square, which is great. I didn't have to go in and spend another 20 minutes doing this all over again, which I really love.
Penny Doodle says that she loves the sparkles on the Express layout, and I agree. I think they add a nice little touch to everything you just created.
Yeah, I love sparkles. I am
You
very
are a sparkle.
biased. Yeah.
Even your hat has little sparkles in the back.
Yeah. Let me see. And so I'm going to download this again as a PNG. And yeah, there's more formats here for you to check out, which is really great. But then now I'm going to go into brands. Okay, I'll go to the home page, and then we select our folder, Pixley's Oddities. And then for templates, let me see if it lets me. Perfect. I'm going to say new arrival hat, and then I'm just going to say flyer.
This is where we need the music.
Yeah. And so it's saving my template on this folder. It's going to be ready to go whenever I need it. I'm also going to add the square because why not? I mean, this is still thinking, but it should add it at some point right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I select add template. Oh, I see it now.
There it is.
There it is. And then we select the square. And so same, I'm going to call it new arrivals hat square. Save template.
Anthony Jackson is saying what used to take minutes now takes seconds. And yeah, when it comes
Seriously.
to resizing, that's so true.
It's a game changer, really.
Yeah.
I use that all the time.
Absolutely. And I feel like, I don't know if small business owners agree, but like we wear so many hats with what we do that those minutes to seconds really does make a difference.
Yeah, seriously. So, let me see. Yeah, if you select it, we have it here ready to go. I also have a link in case I wanted to send it to the owner of Pixley's Oddities, and if she wanted to use it, I could also start a new file from it. And so I want to build a couple more because in the next step, we're going to be animating some stuff and going into that and whatnot. But right now, we're going to keep creating a few more templates. So let me go to my templates. Where are my templates? I want to pick a new one.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many cute ones. I remember I recently used this one. It's so perfect for spring. Actually, no, I already used that.
I was like, maybe again.
Yeah, I was like, maybe. Yeah. I kind of like this. So I'm just going to save it. But actually, I want to go see what I saved before. So in my stuff, which if you were in the home, like homepage, if you hit your stuff, you can see it all in here. All my files or my projects, my libraries, my favorites. And in favorites is where you're going to find everything that you heart in the template folder section. So right now, I think I really want to do this earth one because it's so cute. We're going to get rid of the little earth, sadly.
But
But
I love it. It's like, I'm going to be okay. It's so cute.
yeah, it is so cute. I'm so sorry.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Actually, I brought it back for a second because let me see if it...
Crowd favorite.
I know. Can I also... What is it? Can I also point out that you have all over saved templates online and you only need to download the final products? I seriously love that. Yeah. Yeah, truly. It is so fast to save all your files on here. Okay, let me see. I'm going to add... So I took out our little earth friend and then I'm going to go into my brands folder again, right here on the left. And then I think for this one, we already did the hat, so I think this time we are gonna focus on the Dead Inside sticker. cute. And then these kind of don't make sense anymore.
There's conflicting messaging going on right now.
You guys, we are making this fit our brand, okay?
Happy Earth Day.
Oh, no.
I do like the blobby doodles. I think that's going to ultimately look nice once you start to edit that around. So I see your vision.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it right here. We're going to do this.
Oh, that's nice.
A little bit of that. And then where is that one hiding?
It's probably
right
all the way
there.
on the bottom.
Yeah. So same, we're just going to pretend new arrivals. Or new stickers? Well, maybe new arrivals. And then we're going to take this here.
Cute.
But we're going to say dead inside sticker. Or, I'm just going to say vinyl stickers. Vinyl sticker. And then I'm going to say dead inside sticker is online now. Check it out.
Sean in the chat is saying, sorry, I just popped in. What's dead inside? Sean, you came in at an interesting point. I'll let Itzel explain what dead inside is.
Okay, so we were creating, and I'm just gonna I'll show you right now in a second, but basically we are creating a brand. Thank you actually for reminding me. So we're creating a brand for anyone that just joined in. I'm teaching you how to build a brand using the brand libraries folder, and then also a template. Like, we're going into the templates folder and we're adapting our templates to look accurate, or like to represent our brand according to everything we just put in there. So Dead Inside is a sticker I designed for a company in San Diego called Pixley's Oddities, and she actually sells taxidermy. And yeah,
the plot thickens. Wow. So Dead Inside is it's perfect.
Yes. So this is, she has a lot of taxidermy, and then she also is like a tattoo shop and a shop for like all kinds of goodies, but that's where that sticker came from. So
that's very cheeky. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think now it makes more sense as to why like the products that you're creating feel very like fun and playful, even though like we had no idea it was a taxidermy brand.
Yeah. So there are, you know, it's a little dark, but also cute at the same time. And we're gonna add the brand logo right here. I'm also gonna do a little flip. And then this green's gotta go. Nothing against the green, but it doesn't match. So if you see when I hit my fill color, that's where you can change it. And it automatically shows me my brands down here. And so I'm just gonna select, what do we, maybe the pink. And then the blobbies, we're gonna make them the blue. Maybe I have to change one by one. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, wait, where is my, no, I need it to be blue. I don't know what I just did, you guys. 1 second. There we go. I always forget how to.
What are you trying to do? Change the color?
Yeah. I'm gonna say blue blobs.
There are like 20 different ways to change color,
I know,
so it's easy
I
to
know.
kind of get mixed up whether you want to use the generate similar or just like edit the hue sometimes or add effects. So with this, I definitely think it's like you figure out the path that works best for you and it becomes like your go-to. Oh, I kind of like some of these gradients.
I know, me too.
Feels very earthy.
I don't know that this feels blue to me.
Yeah,
However, it still looks cool.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
No color expert, but
Yeah. Oh, I just went back all the way. Well,
you can always go to effects or adjust
mm-hmm.
and see if that. Oh, those are more blue. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I know I always...
There truly are so
There's
many
so
different
many ways.
and it can get confusing in your brain to decide like which way you want to do it. Also, if it's like an image versus an icon or an asset versus an icon,
I know.
that's
I'm
a whole
like,
thing.
I remember. I like that pink, but actually we're gonna stick with the blues. And then same, we're gonna do her website.
Great.
And we have to update our fonts to look like our brands originally. So let's go and change that now. Let's see what looks best. That kind of gets lost. Maybe we stick with...
I like that it's bold. That's
Yeah.
a nice way to make it a little bit easier to read.
Yeah, I think so too. So I like that. And then that one, we do have to change it a little bit as well. But we'll make it a little smaller. And it's already available, so we don't have to
Have a date.
have a date. Yeah. I need water. Okay. Let me see. I am gonna send these blobs to the back. And I feel like we need some of those sparkles.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm pretty sure, who was it before that was saying that they love the sparkles? Penny Doodles? I think Penny Doodles would agree too. That we need sparkles.
I think it was Penny Doodles. Penny Doodles, are you still there? Did you abandon us?
Sad. We'll miss you, Penny Doodles.
And then here we'll go to our elements.
So many other little doodles
Yeah.
and bits and bobs to choose from.
I know. Here. I feel like I did that too fast. But here to the left, you'll find the elements folder and you click it and then...
Penny Doodles is still here.
Oh my God. Yay,
Everything's
Penny
better
Doodles.
with sparkles. We agree.
We definitely agree. And then which ones?
Oh, there's so many options.
Yeah. I'm just gonna...
That one matches, I think, closely to what you were doing
Yeah.
before. So we want to keep it on brand. Jeff Miller says, all the doodles. Yes, all the doodles.
Now I feel like my handle should be Yay Doodles.
Now I feel like we are morphing into Doodle Bob
I
from
know.
SpongeBob.
Let's see. And same, we're going to change our color for these.
Yeah, black's not the vibe. We definitely want to
No.
add color for that.
I'm even thinking, do these stand out too much? Should they be more tonal? What do you think? Actually, this background color is weird now. Whoa.
Oh,
Hmm.
I don't hate it.
I know, me neither. But then these
But
blue...
then, yeah, I'm like, I kind of like when you accidentally make like little mistakes or like have unexpected results in Express, because that's just like, oh, I wouldn't have considered that to be a color combo that works, but like mental note for next time. And you can just quickly undo anything, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, that was our original color.
The
huh?
purple, maybe it was trying to tell us something and knew that you were going to come back to it.
Maybe it did. Let's see. Was that our original color? I don't even remember, you guys. Okay. But now we have two purples.
Yeah, now that's
That feels a little crazy.
it's a little much. Even for a brand that's taxidermy.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I'm like, whoa, that's too white. Right? Ooh, I can like...
Whoa. I mean, the
Whoa.
sticker very much stands out there. You kind of lose the logo a little bit on that one.
Yeah, we can't do that. See, this is the fun thing about playing with your designs. You can take as little or as long as you want. Now I'm obviously obsessing over the colors.
It's so easy, though, to obsess over the little details like colors. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this will take like 5 minutes. And then an hour later, I'm like, how? What? Why am I still doing this?
Yeah. Oh, I kind of like how this makes it look silvery.
I don't
know.
I like it.
Like, I just want it to be white.
It's very easy to get like a little bit paralyzed by the choices.
Yeah, I know.
With Express,
seriously.
there's an infinite number of color choices and everything.
And also, as we were saying earlier, you can also just hit apply brand. I wonder what it'll do with our colors. Let's try.
Oh, see, sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't really.
Yeah. I feel like it just substituted our fonts a little bit, but since the other elements were already in there, maybe that's why it didn't make much of a change.
I think apply brand is a good thing to kind of start with because you kind of see, and it will be drastic and it's not always like 100%, but it's kind of fun to kind of see like what Express thinks the layout, the color, the font should be. And like we were saying before, sometimes like a happy accident comes out of that where you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting the background to be this color, but cool, I'll run with it.
I know. Now I'm like, whoa. I really like all these options.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different, but why not? We'll change it because we're making more and we are animating them shortly. So for now, we'll pretend like this is it. And so just like before, you can just hit download, and it immediately saves it for you. And you can also create it in a different format. Maybe this time we'll do something different. Maybe a poster. And it also opens it in a different window, so you don't even have to worry about losing what you were working on. You can just go back to it, which is really great. And here, obviously, if you do change the layout drastically, there will be some adjustments you have to make, but it doesn't compare from like having to create everything from scratch than just having to, just do this real quick, like a couple edits.
Yeah, this is more like resizing versus having to really kind of reformat a lot of things.
Yeah. And so right here,
I kind of like the longer.
I know, me too.
Layout.
This kind of fits better.
Yeah. It really kind of draws your eyes more to the main focal point of the sticker.
Yeah, I agree. And so, same, we're going to go ahead and we are going to save. We're going to save this, download. And then we're going to go back into our brand folder. Let me go back to home, brand folder. And then we're going to go to our Pixley's Oddities folder. And in here, we're going to go templates. And we're going to add in the 2 templates we just made. And this one's going to be new arrivals. Sticker.
I think we're almost at time, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Now you guys know that's perfect. We can just, the templates will take a couple seconds to add into it, but we're all ready to go. And stay tuned because we have a lot more great, ¿cómo se dice?
Tips and tricks, knowledge to share.
Yeah, for small businesses. So come back for part 2 and talk soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
We are going to be celebrating Small Business Month by creating some thank you cards that you can send to your favorite small business, appreciating them for what they do. So here we are in Illustrator. So I'm thinking we're gonna do a 4x6 horizontal. So I'm gonna start off with just our classic thank you. So I'm gonna come up here then and I'm gonna type in New Kansas. Look at that. So fun already. Okay, so a hotkey here for you. I'm gonna turn this into outlines. So I'm gonna do Command-Shift-O. Another way to do that is right click and create outlines. And what this does is it converts it into a shape. instead of a typeface. So I'm gonna come over to Adobe Color and I'm gonna type in here, I'm gonna do Explore, Vintage Color Pop. I'm liking this. We're gonna download. You can come to your swatches panel, and I went to the little flyout hamburger menu and I went to open swatch library, and then I said other library. And I downloaded the file, and you click open, and then it's gonna load that color swatch in there for you. I'm gonna draw some just like really basic shapes right now. So I'm gonna just drag out an oval, and then I'm going to do effect warp, and I'm gonna go to bulge. I think that's kind of like the vibe I want, but that seems too much. So maybe I'm gonna go around here. So if I come to my appearance panel, you can turn that on and off. So this just means that like the type itself isn't modified, just it's appearing that way. So I'm gonna actually expand that so that the typeface is modified. So I'm gonna do object expand with it selected. And now you can see it is fully that way and there's nothing in my appearance panel. And that's important because if you change the orientation, like let me show you. If I have you selected and it's just the typeface there, if I change the orientation of it, now it applies the effect in like a different way.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
So we need to lock it in.
We're gonna lock it in. I'm gonna change the circle or the oval to that color, and I'm gonna make this the hot pink because that's fun. And then I'm gonna do an offset path on this. So I'm gonna do object path, offset path, and I'm gonna put this at like 5 pixels. I'm gonna eyedropper as well here, and then just change this to my outline. I'm gonna do offset path again here, but I'm gonna do it in the positive. So that one was the negative to make it inside the shape. Now I'm gonna do positive to expand the shape. So I'm gonna do object path, offset path. I'm gonna go ahead and merge that. So it's one shape itself and it's still separate from that. And then I'm gonna make this bright blue, and then let's do this guy, the yellow. I think I might add a white outline. Okay, cute. This is fun. I'm gonna do a little flower as well. So an easy way to build a flower is I'm gonna use the repeat tool. So I'm gonna do object repeat, and then I'm gonna go to radial and like a flower. I think I'm gonna do 5 petal, expand that, and then I'm gonna merge these again. And then let's do a little star maybe. And I'm gonna bring this down because I want it to be like a sparkle, not a star. Okay, expand that. Just a regular old rectangle. And then maybe this one says like, let's just do like thanks. Okay, this is cute. I like this colorway. And I might do another object offset path on this one. I'm gonna use the scissor tool here under the eraser tool. I'm gonna cut this, delete this, and then I'm gonna turn this to an outline or stroke only, and then I'm gonna just bump this up to get a really fun like rainbow shape. I'm gonna keep that for a second, but I'm gonna expand this. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do type on a path, and I'm gonna say, you made my day. Type on a path. I always center my type on a path. I don't know if that's actually best practice, but if I don't do it, something doesn't feel right. So I always do it that way.
It's best practice for you.
Yeah, it's my practice, my daily practice. Okay, I think that's cute. Dare we add another outline?
Dare
we do. Path, offset path. So on the show, all I did was a lot of offset path. Okay, I'm gonna kind of just like center all these together. This is cute. I like this.
Oh my gosh, Emily, I love it.
Yay! Let me just actually make another 4x6 for us here. I'm gonna bring a few of these over. And this is gonna be like the back of the postcard, and I'm just gonna kind of like drop these around the edges. I'm gonna save this now as a PDF. And now we are gonna jump over to Express. I'm going to start from my content, and I'm gonna come to here, and I'm gonna choose thank you front. Look how cute. Okay, awesome. And now I'm gonna drop a little text box in here for us. So I'm gonna do text. So Express uploaded the PDF in a way that is still editable, which is really helpful because that way I can look at it here and say, you know what, actually, I think these are gonna not be in an easy workable space. So maybe we just bring all of them. Maybe I bring this one down here, and I'm gonna set this in the center and kind of put it here. And I think this would just be a really cute card that you can send to, you know, your local small business or someone that you work with, or if you are a client of somebody and you're like, hey, I really appreciate your photography work and I want to send this to you. And then I'm gonna go share, and I'm going to say anyone with the link, and then I'm gonna copy the link. And then actually, sorry, I'm gonna make this a template. Thank you. And we're just going to do create public link template. So this should take you then to that template so that you could just download it, and you can remix that template and send it to your favorite business.
Thank you all so much for joining. And Emily, congrats. Love the sticker pack.
Thanks. I had a lot of fun.
Thank
all
you.
Right, bye.
Hey, Adobe Live family, welcome back. It's Brittany. I'm here with Andrea, and welcome to our second live stream of the day. And Andrea, you're going to be designing a pitch deck, right?
I am. I'm going to be taking everyone through the steps of how to make a pitch deck or a presentation that really stands out. And I was actually just telling Brittany, like, I know for a lot of us that are artists and creatives, the idea of maybe doing a pitch deck or a presentation doesn't feel really exciting.
It's scary too, right? Like you're putting your biggest baby, your business on the line.
Yeah, it can be really intimidating. It can also just feel like a little bit like, I don't know what I'm doing, or like, does this really matter? And as someone who has worked in marketing and is now an artist, I can say like, yes, pitch decks and the way that you show up in all of your marketing materials really matters, because these are the connections that really help turn your big ideas, your business, your baby into opportunities, which is why I love that Adobe Express makes it relatively easy for someone to create a presentation that is polished and feels professional, even if they don't have a ton of design experience. Like, I have zero design experience before I started doing all the work that I'm doing now, and it's been just really nice to have the tools that Adobe Express offers to kind of build out these things in a way that really speak to me, the work that I'm doing, and my brand, Andrea's Doodles.
I love this so much. And I feel like, honestly, pitch decks, and I know you were saying before, like, this could really be used as a presentation. Like, don't get caught up on the word pitch deck. I think that there's so many incredible ways we're going to be able to tap into what you're creating.
Yeah. So. Okay, so we're going to get started. And a little bit of background on me. I'm an author and illustrator, but I also have a brand called Drea's Doodles, and my main focus with Drea's Doodles is really celebrating and championing the kids space. So I do children's books, children's products, and children's collaborations. So for today's presentation, what I'm going to be showing you is how I would approach making a presentation or a pitch deck for my brand. Specifically, for an example, I'm going to have us go through what I would do to create a pitch deck for a tableware brand that I want to work with. So
I love that.
Showing them how my artwork and why my brand is the right person for them to collaborate with for potentially like a launch down the line. So with that,
this sounds so cool.
Okay, I'm excited. Let's jump in. So if you've never done a presentation before and you're just like, oh, this sounds really intimidating, don't worry. Adobe has 1,000,001 templates that you can start from. So we're going to go ahead and just click presentations here so I can show you a few of those. There are literally thousands of different templates that you can use as a jumping off point. And one of the things that I also really love about these templates, let's just select a random one, is that they do a really good job of giving you kind of a high level overview of what a presentation should include. So if you're like, I don't know where to start with a template and kind of go from there. But for today's work, we're going to actually go back to the home screen, and I'm going to go down here to a blank presentation that I've kind of just outlined for us to learn how to do everything from scratch. So
I love this. Are you somebody who by nature would start with a template, or do you normally create everything from scratch?
So I tend to do things from scratch, but that's also because I'm an artist and an illustrator, so I like having my personal touch on everything. I've definitely used templates in the past, and I'll kind of show you how to use templates in key ways, but I just really want to make sure that whatever my clients or potential business partners are looking at feels like 100% Drea's Doodles. And the best way to do that is to really kind of have like full control, I think, of the work that you're creating.
For sure. And I'm kind of the same way, to be honest. Like, I'll start with a template, and then at the end, I'm like, this is not the same template, girl. Like, this is so different. And I love that you said that key ways to kind of use templates. I always like think of them, chat, as like a start off point. And, you know, I think the more that you develop your eye for design and the more that you develop your own signature style, if you will, you'll get like super confident in like choosing templates or not choosing templates and navigating everything in a way that feels like so authentic to you.
Yeah, which is why I was kind of which is why at the start I advocated for starting with a template, because I think if you are new to this, it's kind of like having training wheels on. You're like, oh, I love how this flows, or I love this font, or I just love the layout. And great, you're learning something about your design preferences, and that is super valuable.
I love that.
Okay, so I created a little outline within this relatively blank presentation because I wanted to be able to kind of speak to just high-level things that every pitch deck or presentation should include, especially if you're greener to this space. So the first thing we're going to start building out is the cover slide, and at a bare minimum, it should have just a few things: your name or your brand name, the title of whatever project that you're working on, and it should speak to the work that you're trying to do. In my case, I want it to be playful and inviting because that is aligned with Drea's Doodles. If you're an accountant, maybe like don't go like a super playful route because that might be a little off brand for the work that you're doing. But for me, that feels right. So these are just little reminders. We're going to go ahead and delete that. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually go to our brands here. And if you were with us on the last live, Itzel showed you how to set this up. So it's kind of like the perfect tee up to what I'm going to be doing now. We're going to select that and we're going to go into Drea's Doodles. You'll see I have my work saved here. And I'm going to select.
Stop as soon as I saw the pink and then obviously your artwork. This is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Okay, I have a few different logos saved here. I think especially as a small business owner, it's always nice to have like a vertical, horizontal, a few different options. We're going to select this one, which is white. You can't see it right now, but don't worry, you'll be able to see it in just a second. What I'm going to do now is kind of color the background. Now, there's a few ways you can do this. You can go into this section and just select color from there. Or what I like to do in this instance is go to elements and pick a shape. So I am looking for a rectangular shape. So one thing about me when it comes to designing presentations is that I really like my presentations to feel editorial. I just think, that. Yeah, I think people on the other side of the table, and I say this as someone that used to work in marketing, you're looking at decks all the time. You're looking at presentations all the time. You're looking at email all the time. So being able to create something that is just a little bit softer to look at, that feels like a break from like the very kind of structured stuff that you're looking at all the time is a nice way to stand out. So, okay. That you'll see that come to life in just a second. So I put this background right here. You can now see that it says Drea's Doodles. Black is not very inviting or playful, so I'm just going to go ahead and change it to pink for now, even though we might change that again later. So I do that right there, and I'm going to go ahead and move the Drea's Doodles logo just a little bit over. Okay, great. So I checked one thing off my list. It has my logo. Let's add a little bit more context. I'm going to go to add text. And since this is a presentation that will potentially get me business in the kids space, I want to come up with something that feels really like warm and inviting to welcome the reader in. So let's go with welcome to the colorful world of.
So cute.
Isn't that fun? Like,
do you normally start them like that, or was that just on the fly right now?
No, I always start them like that because it just, again, it's on brand for me. Like, it's playful, it's warm and inviting. And I think if the only thing you look at is the first slide of this deck, you're going to get a sense of who I am and what Drea's Doodles is all about. And that's a win. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. This font is not 100% what I want. So I'm going to go over here and select one of the different fonts. Adobe has thousands of fonts for you to choose from, and it can take some time to find the perfect one, but I've actually already saved a few up here under my Drea's Doodles brand. So I'm gonna just select one of them right now. This feels kind of fun and quirky.
So cute too.
It's cute, right? And I'm just gonna make the spacing a little bit wider so it's easier to read, and also just make the size a little bit smaller because you don't need it to be that big. Okay, welcome to the colorful world of, oh, it's still a little too big. Boop. Perfect. We're gonna change the color too from black to white to kind of help with that warmth.
I hate to say it, but it helps me get pop, you know?
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, I know you're a fan of black and pink too, so that's why you're like, wait, I love it. Don't worry, I think it'll pop once I change the pink color, which is something I have in my mind, so just trust the process. Like, there's a vision that's gonna happen here. We're just kind of slow moving.
It's so true. And while we're kind of letting Andrea get her presentation set up, I want to take a second to say hello to the chat. We got lots of people tuning in. Hi, Darlene, Kane, Amanda, Jack. Let us know if you have any questions about pitch decks or creating a presentation. Hi, Jeff. Alessandra, hello. Definitely let Andrea know. Do you have any questions around pitch decks? Also, what type of small business do you have? Or if you don't have a small business, what project are you working on right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to answer any of those questions. So I'm going to go ahead and just start to drop some nice little visual assets into here. Now, there's a few ways I can do that. I can just directly upload from my desktop, but to save time, what I've actually done is created a project with a ton of different visuals that I know that I will want to include in this presentation. And it's just so nice to have everything in one place. It saves you time, so you're not kind of having to go back and forth. So I went to my stuff, I selected projects, and we're going to the kids table, which is what I'm calling this presentation. And you'll see I have a lot of different things here that fit the theme of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this and this. Okay, cute, perfect. We're gonna put this little mock-up here of an illustration I did of a bear in a race car, and then we're gonna add another plate here of this little tiger on a race car. Now,
These are so cute.
Everything
you're doing, I'm like, Andrea, this is so cute.
I mean, I'm putting it out there. I want to make my own like kids tableware line, and the best way to do that is to kind of show the person on the other side of the table, the client, that like you know what you're doing, you're thinking through it, and that's why I think mock-ups are so important. And these are things that I created on Photoshop, and they're really easy to do. So if you're like, hey, where do I get started? That's kind of where you go. So the pink kind of clashes with this blue and green, so I'm just gonna take one of my favorite tools, the dropper, and select the blue, and like, look at that, just feels so much more cohesive already. And I really love how this is looking. I might honestly add one more little plate into the mix to show a little bit of range. I think this is nice because you see like, okay, she's thinking through a collection. This is a very like interesting visual slide to look at. But I think there's one thing that's missing where it's like, can this be a little bit more playful? And I think the answer is yes. So we're gonna go to elements, and I'm gonna see if there's something that works for me. I'm gonna search for a dotted line, because when I think of race car, I think of like little dotted lines zipping and zooming. And there are a bunch here, you can see. And like, yeah, maybe these could work, but they feel a little thin, maybe not 100% what I'm going for. So you know what I'm gonna do instead? We're gonna delete that. We're gonna go back to our elements folder, so right here, and we're gonna go all the way to shapes. And this is one of my like favorite little secret tools that I don't think a lot of people use. We're gonna go to draw shape. We're gonna select dotted dash and just play around with the border thickness. And then you can do this on your computer, but you just go.
Okay, wait, stop. I didn't even know this was a thing that you could do inside of Express.
Isn't this great? And I mean, it obviously works out really nicely for this. I'm going a little overboard. I mean, let's undo that because I don't love some of this, but yeah, it's really nice, especially for people who have, oh, this looks much better.
So cute.
Isn't this nice? And for this presentation, at least, it adds a nice layer of like, oh, she gets it. She's thinking through the whole branding of what this collection would look like. The only little thing is just that this plate is getting a little covered. So we just move that to the top. And great. I think this does such a good job of just setting the tone of what this deck is going to be about. And if I got this in my inbox, I'd be like, I'm curious to learn more.
Right.
So yeah, these are fun little ways within Adobe Express that you can customize it. The draw shape one, I told you, is something that
people don't know about.
People don't know about. And you can do more than just dotted lines. I think you guys saw right there, there's different border thicknesses you can choose from. So definitely play around with it and see if there's a way to incorporate that into the work that you're doing, just to add a little bit of a customized touch to your presentation.
So cute. And what a fun way to personalize something, right?
right? Okay, I think you're getting a question. I draw better on tablets, so it's cool that you're using a mouse to draw, right? I normally do all my work on tablets, so it's really nice that these are relatively like good straight lines, and it's just my finger that's kind of moving everything here on my trackpad. Okay, so I love how this looks. Let's move on to what I'm calling slide number 2, which is going to be an introduction or a bio. So this should be just a few sentences about who you are, maybe why you're the right person to be doing this collaboration. And I would recommend having a photo or something of yourself that really introduces you to your prospective client. So let's go ahead and delete that. I could make this from scratch, but I'm going to show you another little hack that I think can be a nice time saver. So let's go back over here to, where did the templates go? Oh, here, templates. And let me see if there's one that I like.
And you're just looking for a slide specifically, right?
Yeah, so, okay, I like this design of this one. It's one that I've kind of played around with before. And you might be thinking like, oh, are you gonna upload the whole thing? You could do that, and you can kind of use that as your jumping off point. Or you can go through it and decide, you know what, I really love how this person, I liked it too. I was like, it feels on brand for me. It's warm, it's inviting, it's playful. Why reinvent the wheel? Let me use this as a jumping off point for Drea's doodles and customize it still, but let me just use this page. So you can just select this singular page and then just add as pages. It's gonna take it to the back of your presentation, but you just slide it to the front and easy peasy. Like, you don't have to use the whole presentation someone else has created. You can just use one. And I really like that little move. So great. Obviously, I am not this person. She's fabulous, but we're gonna just go ahead and remove her photo. And instead, I'm gonna replace it with my headshot. So we're gonna go to brands, and my headshot's something that I include in a lot of my presentations. So I've gone ahead and I've saved it as one of my assets. You can see I have a bunch of different photos here.
I love the one of you holding, is that all books or
it's
boxes?
all lunch boxes I did.
So
Isn't that fun?
cute.
For this one though, although we'll use that in a different capacity, I'm gonna just use this one, which I think you'll love, Brittany, because I'm wearing pink.
I'm already sold.
You're like, great, you have my business.
I also think this is like a super confident, like power shot of you. And I think,
thank you.
of course, but when you're doing like pitch decks or presentations, I think it's important to like use photos where your energy is super confident, especially because I think, well, I'm sure you would have seen this in the beginning of your journey, but when you're like growing your brand and you're making uncomfortable pitches, choosing like a super confident photo of yourself can really help deliver like you in a way that maybe you're still feeling imposter syndrome or other things. You
Absolutely. I think another nice thing that a photo like this does, at least for me, because I'm in the kids space, I like to be silly, I like to be playful, and those are things that you don't inherently associate with like business owner.
Professionalism, right.
So being able to show people not only in the words and the quality of the content, but your photos and like how you show up, that you actually have that duality, that you can exist.
Right.
You know, like you can talk to the business owner and the 5-year-old who's ultimately driving your business in my line of work is really important.
The best of both worlds.
As Miley Cyrus would say. Okay, so we're placing this photo in here. I really like this picture, but I don't love this white background. So we're gonna use one of my favorite things, remove background. I love it. It just adds so much more dimension to the work that you're doing. It allows you to layer things, and it just takes a few seconds, and that white gray background should go bye-bye. Right on cue.
I love, and
Doesn't
I
that
love
look so
that it
cute?
kept your curls.
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
That has been like the bane of my existence sometimes because if you guys haven't noticed, I have
The
big
best
floofy
curly hair.
I love my hair, but sometimes when I do remove background, or in the past when I was like trying to Photoshop essentially this, it wouldn't work because of my hair. And surprisingly, like Express does a really good job of keeping that intact. So I'm like, yay, small win. Okay. I really love how this side looks. I'm gonna go ahead and just change some of the information over here because I am not this person. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my name, Andrea, and select all. Oop, didn't do that correctly. Select all and go back to my fonts and select the font that I had already saved and that we use at the front.
Everything, I'm like, it's so cute, but this font is so cute.
It's fun. It's playful. It feels cut out. And as someone who, creates a lot of stuff with my hands and is in the children's book space, like I wanted to select a font that was intentional and kind of gave that same energy. So we're just going to go ahead and delete this like hello. Oh, you know what? I want to keep this though. That's cute. We're going to delete that. And I just like to copy paste it and then hello. Whoop. Do this. Make sure it's aligned. Perfect. So this already is looking really good. I'm just going to go ahead and change this text here to be my bio. Now, there's a few things that there are a few different ways that you can do that. You can type directly into here and write your bio, like I am, whatever it is. I'm not a huge fan of that. I actually prefer to like copy and paste it from another place. So I'm just going to go ahead, jump into my notes section. I have a bio saved here, and we're just going to copy and paste and go directly into here. I do this because like I'm so scared of misspelling things. And yes, Express has a spell check in there and it's highlighting stuff right now being like, what is a pollo? And I'm like, it's Spanish for chicken, don't worry. But this is just like my personal preference and how I like to work. So we're gonna resize this a little bit so that it looks better.
And something too, I don't know if you've used this feature a lot inside of Adobe Express, but their rewrite feature. If you're somebody who does want to type out your bio in there, you're like, does this make sense? Or can I say this in a better way?
Interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. See that little rewrite button that pops up if you were to choose that?
Let's play with it.
Yeah. Like, see, you can, it's basically like, I mean, one of the coolest features ever. But I think if you're somebody who is looking at something and you're like, this text isn't really like hitting the right way, you can always generate other options on basically how to say the same thing but in a different tone or in a different way.
That is so good to know. Honestly, I just did a quick little example of that, and it does synthesize things nicer. So that's something definitely that I want to experiment with. And I think you're right. If you're getting started for the first time and trying to find like that perfect way or that optimal way of talking about your business, because that's the hardest thing, right? It's like as a small business owner, the act of essentially selling yourself, your ideas or your dreams, it's so hard.
Right.
It's so hard to talk about yourself. Like I can be like, Brittany's great at this, Brittany's great at this, Itzel's great at this,
Right.
But when it's you talking about yourself, it's so much harder. So that's a really valuable tool.
100%.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this and make sure that it's one of my fonts so that we can stay consistent. Great, I think that looks good. So we have our first slide, our second slide. I'm not loving the yellow because that doesn't go the background. So let's just make that a little bit more white so that it flows. Okay, great.
I love the way the colors are all playing into each other too. It's definitely super playful. And also the way that your photo, the background was removed, the shape, like you fit the shape, the little yellow shape on the side so well there. Like you see your arm is like going in flow with the shape.
And that's what I mean with like trying to make this look more editorial. It's just a little bit more visually interesting to look at. And if the person who's like ultimately, looking through the deck only has like a minute, make it exciting, make it fun. So that's what I'm trying to do. So thank you, Brittany. Okay, next slide, we're gonna go ahead and for me, I wanna use this as an opportunity to show the work that I've done in the past, an overview of my work, so that the person on the other side of the table knows that like, yes, this is a dream for me, but also I know what I'm doing. Like I've done this before, and I wanna give them a few examples of how that comes to life, specifically in the kids space. Because while I personally don't have any experience creating tableware, I have created other products in the universe, so I want to highlight that. All right, so we're going to delete that, and we're going to go back into a mix of things. So let's go to your stuff, in this case, my stuff, back into projects, and I'm going to select a few key visuals that I think do a good job of kind of showing the work that I've done in the past. So we have that cute little baby's onesie. We have this cute kids pajama that I did last year with a...
There's the lines, the same
Yes,
elements, right?
I'm a big fan of the lines, and you'll see that come through a lot. In this pajama, it was a map, so the lines made sense there as well. And then maybe, oh, this is cute. This cute little backpack, and let's go with an example of like a print I've done that could potentially be a fun plate element, because like who doesn't love sports? All right, so I'm gonna lay this out in a way that, again, just feels maybe a little bit visually interesting. And these are all mock-ups that I've made. Not all of them. Some of them are real products that I've made, and some of them are mock-ups. All right, I think this is looking really cute. I just want to show maybe one more thing. So let's go to my brand again. We're gonna scroll down to assets, and I have a few of my go-to favorite things here. I'm gonna include this, which is a copy of a book that I worked on, along with some stuffed animals that I designed. So again, really reinforces like, she's in the kids space. She has worked across all these different things, even if she's never done a plate before, surely she understands our customer.
And I think, too, just showing variety of different projects that you've worked on or different industries you'd like to get into is so cool. We have some amazing people tuning into the chat. Hey, Ryan. Everyone's saying where they're from. But it's so funny because I think, like, ultimately when it comes to, like, what you're doing, you're really kind of putting it all out there, which would you say is probably, like, a key thing in creating a presentation, right?
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest things when you're creating presentation is, like, you're telling the story behind the story. Right. And a pitch deck is often the story of you. Why are you the right person? Like, how do you see this specific industry or world or whatever it might be? Because ultimately, like, I could have the most beautiful designs in the world, but if I don't understand the business, then they may end up going with someone else. So this is my attempt at showing them that, like, I do understand the business, and here's an example of that. And, like, you're getting to know me, and hopefully that is enough for them to be like, let's take a chance on her. Like, she seems like the right person for the job.
I love this.
Okay, so this is the layout of like examples that I'm going with, but I want to title this in a fun way too. So let's go back to text. Text. Now I could just say portfolio for this, but like you guys know at this point that I'm probably going to say this in a more fun way, just so that it better aligns with my brand. So I'm thinking we're going to say a world of possibilities. Wow, I can't spell today, but don't worry.
It's always when you try to type on live, something comes over you. And I'm like, it never works out in your favor.
No, it doesn't. So we're going to go ahead and change that to the font that I've been using all day. That's one of my saved ones, and just kind of mess with the letter spacing a little bit. So I really love this font, but you guys can barely see it because there's so much going on. So I'm going to select it and do one of my favorite things, which is going to effects, scrolling all the way on the bottom, and here you have the ability to choose different shapes. Obviously the circle's not going to work for us. This like oval's kind of interesting, but what I want to do this time is this rectangle. I think it does a nice job of really helping the words pop, and we're just going to make this, we're going to change the color and make it a little bit smaller. So let's go back to effects. You can switch the colors like this really easily, which is nice. You can also do a cutout text, which I'll show you.
I love cutout.
It's just, it doesn't work for this necessarily.
It's true. You need a cleaner background, right?
But for me, I do love the cutout because, again, it feels cut out, especially with this font. And for someone who's in the kid space, it just works really nicely. But what I'm going to do instead is cancel the cutout. Let's change the font to white, even though you won't be able to see it for a second. And then use my handy dandy dropper to pick a color from here to make it feel more cohesive. In this case, I'm gonna go with this red. And look at that, really does a nice job of tying everything together, because even though I have very different examples of my work here, you'll see that there's a lot of blues and yellows and red, and that kind of really helps, again, tell a visual story. These are all colors that are gender neutral, that speak to the fact that, like, I'm thinking through designs for everyone. Yeah.
I love that.
So, okay, We have our home page, intro presentation. We have who I am. We have a little bit of a portfolio overview. The next thing that we're going to want to do is really show this client in particular that we understand their business.
Right.
So again, this is for tableware. If you're just joining in, I'm trying to pitch my brand, Drea's Doodles, to a company that designs kids' table products. So think cups, mugs, plates, etc. So I want to kind of show them how my artwork can look on their products. And we're going to work on creating a little example page that looks like this. So,
Stop. No. Did you know that I love Halloween?
No,
It's
me
my
too.
favorite time of the year.
I love Halloween too because I feel like it's one of the few days that adults actually give themselves permission to be kids again.
True.
You know? And I just get so much joy in seeing people dress up. I get so much joy in seeing family group costumes, dog costumes. I think is
Yes, it's a whole thing.
it's essentially their rent. It's like, listen, buddy, you live in my house rent free all year. I
This is the
feed
one
you.
time.
You owe me. You owe me. You're putting on that hot dog costume.
I love this. And is this, so obviously this is a mock-up because
Yes.
you haven't, okay, I can't even tell anymore. Like these mock-ups are so good.
There are some phenomenal Photoshop mock-ups out there. There's a ton that you can download for free. Within Adobe Express, you can also do a free trial and download a few mock-ups that way. And there's also a ton of paid options. The people who design these mock-ups are angels because they make it so easy that if you're new to design, you literally just have to change 1 or 2 layers to put your artwork on there, and the rest is magic. So don't feel intimidated. But I do think it's a nice way to add a really professional touch to what you're looking at.
Right.
Because again, I'm thinking through, at least in this example, and I'm trying to get out of the way here. If I'm the person on the other side, I've thought through the collection. I'm showing range. I'm showing how, there's similar patterns, but they're all working together.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and make another slide that is similar to this, just because I personally like to always show 2 or 3 examples. So we're going to get started on that now.
I love that. And I think to also add, anybody who is, when we're looking at large companies, like they have buyers involved. They're not designers. They're not creatives for the most part. They might have parts of them that are creative, but they probably can't, by seeing your drawings, visualize what that would look like on a plate or, anything really. So being able to kind of sell that vision is so important.
Yeah, it will cost you a little bit of time and energy in the upfront, but to Brittany's point, if the person behind you or on the other side of the table is a buyer or a marketer, like they may not have the ability to kind of connect the dots. So just connect the dots for them, and it'll go a long way in hopefully getting, new business, but also just for you, like you get a sense of like, wow, like I feel so professional. Look at this beautiful like trick or treat collection that I made. It's adorable. I want this. Like I want this little like eyeball bib in my life. I need
so
it.
Cute. Ryan is saying he loves the bats too. Love a
Thank
cute bat.
you. The
Same.
little bats with the big eyes. Very cute.
How could you choose? Like for me, I'd be that mom that would be buying the whole collection, girl. Like just add to cart.
And for me as a designer, it'd be like, amazing, yay. Okay, so we're gonna do another similar slide. I'm going back to my Your Stuff tab and going into projects. And this one's gonna be more holiday themed. And the reason I'm intentionally including Halloween and more of like a winter wonderland Christmas vibe is because those are 2 things that no matter what kind of tableware or what kind of business you're running are big selling moments. So I just want to kind of help them visualize that. So
And to add to that, for anybody who's newer to maybe bringing their products to like a larger franchise or company, like buyers are buying things so far in advance. Like oftentimes they're already looking at purchasing for for Halloween, Christmas next year already.
yeah, it's a kind of cuckoo bananas to think that like the stuff that I'm drawing now like could potentially be on shelves in 2027, and you kind of have to be a little bit of a fortune teller. When you're working through everything. So, all right, I'm just going to plop a few things in there and then we can work together on layout. I want to show a range of things. Let's get maybe some bibs in there. I like that. This little pajama, I'll explain why in just a second. And let's go back and maybe get one more thing.
I was going to say too, Andrea, like I love that you did it with your Halloween collection, or trick or treat, I should say, and you're doing it here too. You're kind of like going against the traditional color palette you would see for those holidays, which is so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think to her point, like when you think of the holiday season or Christmas, it's like red
and green.
Yes. So I'm like, what are colors that are adjacent to that for the person on the other side of the table, the buyer, may just feel a little bit more fresh, but still feel on brand. And that's like a skill that I've been trying to hone over the last few years as someone who works in the kids space, in both the children's book space, and is ultimately trying to do more work as a surface pattern designer. Part of being a surface pattern designer is kind of trying to future forecast trends and colors and predictions. So this is my attempt at being like, I wonder what's going to be in a year or two. Okay, so right now, I just plopped a bunch of artwork on there, but let's style this in a fun way. This image I only have with a background, so let's just go back to our handy dandy remove background tool and make that blue disappear. And you may be thinking like, Andrea, why are you adding a pajama for something that is, supposed to be like kids' tableware? And I'm doing that for two reasons. One, I just really love the image of these little characters delivering presents. But two, one thing that I've noticed that the major retailers are doing is that they're really doing these bigger collections now when it comes to some of their products, where they will have the pajama that matches the bag, that matches whatever else. So just showing a little bit of that within the presentation is something that I think will help me stand out and gives the person who's looking at the deck a sense of like the more like strategic side of my brain versus just like the very cutesy graphic side of things.
And I think variety too, like maybe the person receiving this already has a tableware collection that they're moving forward with, but them seeing the pajama set is like, but wait, that would be so cool.
And here's the thing, like all these industries are really small, and the person who's running the tableware collection now may get a promotion in a couple months and end up running like the kids' pajama collection down the line. So it just doesn't hurt to add one or two little things into your presentations like that, especially if you are sending this to like a mass retailer where people get shifted and shuffled around all the time, that you can do more than just like what this specific deck is about. So, okay, I'm just gonna think of a fun little way to lay this out. Again, I personally like my stuff to feel a little bit more editorial. So if you are wondering like, what does that mean? I grew up on like Pottery Barn magazines and stuff as a kid, and American Girl doll magazines. So
I love that.
I think just laying stuff out in a way that feels interesting is like really fun. Okay, this is cute, but it's a little small, so make it a little bit bigger. Just making it feel like you're almost looking at a place setting. I want to maybe add these here as well, maybe make them a little bit smaller. I think the bibs are a nice touch. Let's move that.
Do you have like a rhyme or rhythm to laying things out, or is it just kind of playing around, seeing what feels good?
I think for me, it truly is like just playing around and seeing what feels good. I think I like to lay stuff out in a way that draws the eye in. So if you are in photography, there's like the rule of thirds and like making sure things kind of work out in that way. And maybe I'm slightly influenced by that as someone who used to be more in the photography space. But I think for now, it's just a lot of like trial and error and kind of like playing around. All right, I'm not sure where I'm going to put little ho 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 yet, but I like how this is looking. The one thing I'm not loving is the white background. It feels a little blah compared to everything else that's going on. So let's go ahead and change that. When I think of winter wonderland, I think of like snowstorms and stuff. So let's make this a nice soft blue to really help with that. And
that even just made such a big difference.
Right? Right? It just makes it feel like a really nice collection. And that's something that you might actually see in a magazine, or that they might actually, feature as part of their marketing materials. So this is feeling good to me, but I really want to kind of bring to life this winter wonderland. So let's go to elements and see if there's something in there that we can use. Let's look at
snowflakes.
Yes, you read my mind. Okay.
This is how you know we're twins.
Okay, so there's a lot of different snowflakes that I can choose from here. I can choose icons, backgrounds. Ooh, I like this. Let's go with this design asset. So I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna make it snow on everything.
I love.
Move it to the back so that it's not covering the artwork. And I think that just like, that's
Fills
really
in
cute,
space,
right?
right?
And it, again, really does a good job of bringing the story to life. It's a little bit brighter than I want it to be. I don't want it to be distracting, so I'm just gonna go to image, edit, and bring the opacity down so it feels like a subtle touch versus a design asset, because what I don't want to happen is for these snowflakes to compete with the snowflakes that I have on this bib, because they are different designs.
Right.
So we're just gonna blend that in a little bit. And I think this is looking really cute. We're just gonna do maybe one or two more things because I am an overachiever.
I love the way that you said that. I'm going to lead life with that moving forward.
Okay, I'm thinking what could help really reinforce that this is kids' tableware that maybe helps fill in some of the white space.
Would it be like cutlery? Like, is that okay?
Oh my
Okay,
God,
I'm
we're on the
glad.
same page. This makes me so happy.
I'm like, do I say this because I don't know if I was like thinking the right way you were? So
No, this is good. So I'm gonna go back to elements. We're gonna look at spoons and see if there's one that might work. So I don't want an icon for this because it's gonna feel very flat in comparison to these like very real life items that exist there. So I'm gonna go into assets, and what do you know? This is a real life looking spoon, and I think this looks pretty cool. So maybe we'll just move it around and have it just like lay here, and then maybe we'll go back to that same thing and see if there's a fork that we can use. And there is a matching one. Love
I
that.
love when there's matching elements. That
Right?
makes me so happy. Like little life wins, right?
And also, these kind of feel plasticky and kid-like, you know? So it's kind of like, oh, okay, she gets it. They get it. Maybe we'll move this here for now. We'll go here. Perfect. All right, now the last thing that's missing from here is just a title, because like this is all well and good, but what's going on? So I'm gonna go back to add text. Adobe Express is now learning that that is my preferred text, so it's just in there, which I love. And we're gonna go with Winter Wonderland. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did before, which is go to Effects, scroll down here to Shapes, and just for the consistency and cohesiveness of the presentation, I wanna select the same effect, which is this nice little square one. We're gonna go ahead and move that up here. I don't love the yellow. There's no other yellow on the page. So similar to before, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna change it out. So let's change this to white. Oh, I need to select all of it, not just tur. Let's do that again. Whoop, that's white. And then shape fill. Do we do red again? Would that look nice? I think that'll pop, but does that feel very wintry?
But it does bring out like the red accents in some of your illustrations, which is kind of cool.
I don't hate that, but I think what I might do, because
Maybe the dark blue?
yes,
Okay.
I think the dark blue would be better suited for this, because as
Cute.
I mentioned before, I like there to be cohesiveness in what I'm doing. So it's kind of hard to.
Jack says that everything's matching the Halloween page really well.
Yeah, so you can tell here in the Halloween page, I put like little stars in the background to really have that kind of same editorial look and feel. And this time it was snowflakes. So these two pages have the same mock-ups, but just laying them out differently makes it feel a little bit different, because I have the same kind of like mock-up templates. And that's another reason I wanted to add the pajamas, to just kind of show that there's other things that you can do. So, okay, I really like how this is all looking. We have two different slides that show examples. The next thing that I want to do is add a slide that speaks more to my like data and social analytics, because that's something that people really care about these days, is
Right.
how you're showing up online, any press that you might have, and yeah, key information that shows them that you are the right person to help sell these products, or, you know, bring these products to the masses. So
Do you have any tips on placement? Like, is there a reason why you would place data and analytics over here in your presentation or pitch deck?
So I think it kind of varies. With stuff that is very visual focused, I like to lead with the visuals because I think it's one of my strengths.
Right.
But if I was talking to a company that I know is really big on working with creators,
Right.
or like is exclusively looking for content, then I would actually probably lead with, or have that be like my second or third slide, where it's like, all right, here's who I am, here's my social media presence, here's examples of the work that I've done in
Right.
the past. So I would say that as much as I would love to tell you, like, here's the perfect order and template for this presentation or this pitch deck, you really should cater it based off of
The brand.
Yeah, the brand and what
Okay.
you're trying to do. Because the way that you would talk to like a small kids brand is very different than you would talk to like a big social media company.
Right.
So just keeping that in mind is going to be really important.
Such good tips.
Yay.
I love.
Anyone have any questions? Oh, you literally need those pages for myself. Me too. The amount of times that I design something and I'm like, but what if I just made it for adults instead?
I'm sure that there's websites like that you can order just one for yourself on, you know.
There are websites too that let you design custom fabric, and I have been very tempted to find like a seamstress or someone to then just sew things for
it.
me. So
I love that.
we'll see. Maybe that'll be my next live. Okay, let's quickly, because we don't have too much time yet, go into the social media side of things. So I'm gonna go back to, oh, you know what? Actually, I haven't uploaded this. So let's go to upload. We're gonna go on my desktop. We're gonna go to Adobe Live.
I love seeing, this is so weird, chat. I know I'm not the only one. I love seeing how people organize their folders on their computers because I am like such a chaotic mess with my folders. And anytime somebody needs to upload something, I'm like, is she going to be organized? Is she like me? You are organized.
I am and I'm not. I feel like I have a lot of like untitled or like random little names.
Final file, version 3, option 2.
Absolutely. So while we were chatting, I went ahead and I uploaded this little graphic that I have made a while ago. I think it's just a really nice way to kind of like show my social media without like showing it. And it is a little outdated. I have to update it because I have different things that I've highlighted and stuff now. But again, my objective is for this to feel editorial. And I think having like a little visual like this is like a fun way to do that. I'm not sure what I want to title this yet, but for now we're going to go with a bit of a social butterfly. Again, that's like a
Very
cute,
on brand.
yeah, that's a cute, fun way to talk about social media, but still feel very playful, which is something, again, that I'm really focused on within the context of my work, but also within the context of this deck. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this red. Oh, that's not 100%. You know what? No, this is the red I want. And then highlight this again and change the color to white. So it's kind of that cutout we were talking about. I guess I could have just done that, but we're gonna start with there. And then what I wanna do is just highlight some of my key metrics that I think will be interesting for this brand who is more or less interested in really targeting mothers because they tend to be the ones who are the ones buying the kids products. So let's do that in a fun visual way. I'm gonna go over here to charts and grids.
I love this. Okay.
Which I think for a lot of artists is like, I've never even touched that.
I didn't even
tab
know that
before.
existed.
Yeah. I didn't either until I started doing this, but now it's like kind of a nice tool to have.
Right.
What does it say? Playful way to talk about social media without all the trauma and doom scrolling. Yes, yes. I like to say that Drea's Doodles is like my little pocket of the internet where it's always sunny. And I try to just maintain a very kind of like positive, upbeat aura around that because
I love that.
to your point, Ryan, it is kind of scary. Social media can be a like chaotic place. So yes, this is my way of kind of keeping that sunshine going.
It's also like a humble, what's the word I'm looking for?
Humble brag?
Yeah, kind of. Because
Yeah.
I think, like, if you were to maybe lead with different wording, like, yes, brands care about things, but also I think that when we're going through things, when you come off in, like, a very nonchalant or humble way like this, it gets received so much better.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to put, all this copywriting is part of like the brand ethos and the brand that I'm trying to build. So I'm happy that you guys are all noticing. All right, real quick though, because we don't have too much time, I'm gonna jump into charts. I just wanna show you guys this cool tool. So 35% doesn't really mean anything to me, but we're gonna go ahead and change that. So the value that I wanna highlight is that 90% of the people that follow me, Andrea's Doodles, are women. So we're gonna go ahead and put 90, and we're gonna go ahead and change this real quick to my colors. And like, look at how nice and professional this looks, right? So
good.
we're gonna put this here and then just add text next to it that kind of explains that. I'm trying to move fast now because I know we don't have a
pressure
lot
is
of time. I'm
on.
like, women. And this is where I would normally then kind of do this a very similar thing for, and we can do that quickly, for age breakouts, because for me in particular, it's important that they know how many folks are between the ages of 30 and 45 or 25 to 35. So I don't remember the exact number. We're just going to pretend that it's 56, and we switch that around because the red is a little bit easier to read inside. We're going to do that with that too. And we're just going to say that, 60% of the people that follow me essentially are between the ages of 25 and 35.
And that's a good indicator for brands too.
Yes.
Like that those are going to be people who are in a space to, be making those decisions of things that they want in their home, and love that.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I'm choosing to showcase this. And I think in the past I would have just like screenshotted my metrics and analytics page within Instagram, but I just think visually it's not nearly as exciting. So creating something like this is a fun way that feels on brand to kind of really bring that to life. And obviously you can get a lot more granular with this if the client that you're trying to work with cares about where your people are located, then great, put your top 5 cities, get more detailed with age ranges. But I think for the purpose of this is like a nice little overview of how to kind of put that together. So yeah, I think this is looking nice. What I might also do here is include an example or two of some of my social media content, just in case they're not going to click immediately, to Instagram and kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead back into this folder and maybe upload something into here. Oh, this is one of my videos from my color walk series that I've been doing that people really like. And then maybe I'll upload one more just to have an example of something else.
And I know, like, from a marketing standpoint too, people are, brands are really looking at engagement right now. So even including like some things, maybe like comments that have come through on your posts or DMs that you've got in a fun way could be so cool.
Yeah, and I think this would be the perfect place where it's like, all right, let's say I just want to show one of them and then use this white space here to highlight that, where it's like, hey, this one reel got 30,000 views and has hundreds of comments, and here's what people are saying. With my color walk series in particular, so many people are like, hey, I want to do this. I'm taking my kindergarten class to do this. And those are really nice, subtle ways to reinforce what I'm trying to say, right? That I understand this market, I understand this community. So to Brittany's point, if I go into my social media and just screenshot that and add it here, that would add a nice little layer of like user-generated stamp of approval. And I really like that.
For sure. Like, you could do so many different fun things with it. And you've done so much in such a short period of time.
Thank you.
Obviously, a lot has to come with experience, and you kind of know what you're looking for. But I think that just Adobe Express makes it so easy to bring things to life in such a short period of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, this has been like 40 minutes of us kind of moving through it. But I think spending that time, especially if it's your first one, of thinking through like how you want things to lay out, the colors that you want, it'll be a lot of work in the upfront. But now that I have a sense of like who I am when it comes to presentations, I know what my go-to colors are. I've already created my brand section, and everything lives in here for that reason. Okay, so we're just gonna leave this page a little half-baked because I think we know we can really add a lot more here. The last thing, honestly, I want to do before having like a thank you page is just having a very clear call to action. I think that's a really nice way to end any presentation. So I'm gonna start with one of the photos that I know Brittany liked of me holding.
The lunch boxes.
Yeah, these are lunch boxes I designed a few years ago now for a collaboration I did. And I just think it's like, it reinforces the work that I'm doing. It's warm and playful, but it does so in like a really nice kind of fun, snacky visual way. Okay, so that's removing background, and we're gonna add some text here. We're gonna put playful with a purpose, because that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be playful, but there's a purpose behind the work that I'm doing, and whether that's me trying to spread kindness, positivity, empathy, joy, like those are really big things that are important for children to understand. So I think like having that like synthesized in everything that I do is really, really important to me. So
I love this.
we're gonna do playful with a purpose. And you know what? Let's make this my brand colors. Let's go back to brands. Make this pink. Oh, I changed the whole thing. So let's just...
But that is a really cool feature too. And I know we're already out of time, which I can't even believe this has flown by.
I'll have to do a version 4, a version 5, because there's still so much to talk about when it comes to like adding press in a fun way to your presentation and signing off in a fun way.
For sure. And Andrea, is there anything that you want to leave us with? You dropped so many juicy gems. What would be your biggest tip for pitch deck creation?
Honestly, don't be afraid to experiment. I think before, when I was initially starting making pitch decks, I'm like, this is so businessy, this is so stressful, like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's taken a few iterations. Like if I showed you the first deck I ever made, which I thought I was doing fantastic at, and I look at it now, I'm like, ooh. So it's okay. It's okay. Just like start small, make edits, keep evolving. And I think my biggest feedback is just make sure that you customize every deck that you make for the specific client. That doesn't mean do it nuts to bolts, but like making sure that you're being intentional with the order or like how things are being presented based off of who's on the other side of the table is really important.
I love that. Lead with intention.
Yes. She's great at synthesizing. I can be very long-winded as we all learn.
I'll be your rewrite tool, okay? Amazing. Well, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Make sure to connect with Andrea if you have any questions about pitch deck creation. The mods will drop her Instagram in the chat. And we'll be back in a few minutes where I'm going to talk to you about creating promotional graphics and creating your own social media launch kit. We'll see you shortly.
Thanks for coming by.
This is an end of the year social media marketing checklist. What I'm going to do is I've kind of created my canvas as an 11 by 8.5. I wanted it to be printer friendly. So I have my copy up on this one page. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a second page here. And this is going to be my like working page, if you will, my working file. And I'm just going to pull my copy from the front. And now I'm just kind of aligning everything. I wanted to get like to feel really good about maybe one bubble. And then I'm going to start recreating what I've done for some of the others. So I know with being a checklist, one of the biggest things is like, I don't know about you all, but for me, if there is not a place in the checklist for me to like check mark done it, then I'm not doing it. Like for somebody like myself who I just kind of need to get in, get something done quickly and get out. This is my baby. I feel like Express was made for me.
So yeah, I can see obviously getting your content down and getting everything nicely organized with your hierarchy and bolded fonts, looking good.
So what I've kind of pulled in is just some icons as well as a logo for the Socialista Club and just kind of like plopped them in. And I feel like already, can you not see how this is like really starting to look super branded and very fun and extra like me, which is great. And now I was just kind of like thinking I kind of might want to like include a little something that gives it the idea that this is holiday season. So I was thinking maybe I'll put like a little Christmas tree, and obviously we can make this in the brand colors, which is so great. Nice. I kind of do like it like scaled to the entire page. This is where we started, everyone. I mean, come on. Like, I know she says she's not a designer, but everyone can take this and go and put it in their own branding, and I'm gonna give it to you all.
Hi. Hello, everyone. We are so excited to have you join us today. I'm going to start. Well, you introduce yourself because you're the star of the show today.
We're back. You would have seen Itzel earlier this morning. You did the first live stream today,
the first
right?
one. Yes.
Amazing. We're both in bakery mode. For those of you just
Very
jumping
much.
in, my name is Brittany Megan. This is Itzel. And this stream, I'm actually going to be showing you how to create some promotional social media graphics, or AKA what I like to call a little launch kit. And then at the end, I will give you guys the remixable template to take everything that we create and make it your own. Make sure to drop where you're tuning in from. We're both in bakery mode. Can we talk about this for a second?
I know,
it wasn't
seriously.
coordinated. It wasn't
not.
planned.
No, but I'm very excited. We're also both wearing pink. So
Yes, on
also
Wednesdays we wear pink.
Yeah, I know.
Every day for me, but anyways.
I know.
Amazing. So as we'll jump into kind of my screen here, I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. I was telling Itzel this earlier this morning. I love a good croissant, okay?
Oh, me too.
Okay, chat, get a snack because this is going to be a story of the day and this is going to lead us into exactly what I'm creating today. I love a croissant, but I'm also the queen of liking things to look very dainty and cute and put together.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be honest and say, like, a croissant is not cute. Like, there is nothing aesthetic about a croissant. When you eat a croissant, it's, like, flaky everywhere. When it's presented, a lot of the times it, like, looks cute until they put it in a bag, and then it gets squished a little bit, and you're like, okay, this is not an aesthetic moment. So if anybody tuned in on Instagram, on the Adobe Live Instagram yesterday, I did a takeover and shared a day in my life, and I got a croissant halfway through the day.
Oh my God. I saw that. I missed the croissant part.
I did not share the croissant because I was like, this is not cute.
Okay.
So hence, yesterday, I kind of took a little bit of a plot twist, and yesterday decided I am going to create a bakery from scratch that would serve a cute croissant.
I love that. I love that. Inspired by real life.
Exactly. So these promotional launch graphics that we're making are going to be bakery themed. And I literally last night in my hotel room with a sheet face mask on, put together an entire brand identity using Adobe Firefly boards. Drop a hand in the chat if you've heard about this new launch from Max a couple of weeks back. And this is like such a cool storyboarding feature where you can kind of put together your vision all in one place, ideate things. You know, Adobe Firefly's image model, there's video models now, so many incredible things. And for me, I was like, okay, I have this idea. I know what I want to do. I need to kind of bring it to life. And let me tell you, I run a marketing agency, so I don't have cute croissants or product images or anything. So we really like winged the whole thing. And last night, and like I said, watching The Housewives, put together this brand identity for a fake business that I'm actually probably going to trademark and make a real thing. Bon Bon Bijou, which is a Toronto luxury bakery. And I've come up with a bio. I've come up with a tagline. Luxury that you can snack on. Let's read this quick before we jump in. Bon Bon Bijou is the bakery for the girlies who treat desserts as their love language.
I love that. Sign me up.
Right? She's not, she's somebody who loves soft pink frosting, gold flakes, sequin bows on buttery croissants, and she's just a girl who wants her pastries, okay? And using Adobe Firefly, I've generated the vision for these desserts.
So cute.
Right? So we've come up with my version of what a croissant should look like.
Oh my God, with the edible glitter and everything.
The bow, everything's cute. It's giving, I'm just a girl. Like in a nutshell, right? We have these beautiful little bombs, little like donut bombs, we'll call them. Cute little limoncello lace puffs, and keeping it on brand. My agency's name is Socials and Stilettos, so I had to create a strawberry stiletto tart.
Definitely.
Tell me, chat, that you are not like mouth-watering looking at these because they look so good.
So
right?
good. I feel like they also have to come in like a really cute pink box.
Right?
To
So,
preserve. Oh, okay. Yes.
hold on a second.
Yeah.
Look at this, right? So I came up with this box. Amanda's
Yeah.
like, I'll be the first in line. Same. We even came up with the vision, and I wanted
So
to show you guys,
cute.
right? Like, this is so great. And I wanted to even show you like what kind of prompt I worked with. So easy to create things. We are working in Adobe Express today, but if you're somebody who wants to experiment in Firefly boards, let this be your sign that you truly can create so many incredible things and have something out of really nothing.
Oh
So,
my God, I want to go there.
right? I'm telling you, I'm ready to trademark the whole thing. It's going to be a thing. Even we have the indoor shots of how the pastries would be displayed.
Cute. So cute. It reminds me of like Marie Antoinette.
Right?
That movie. Yeah.
Right? It really is. There's I don't know if you guys have them here in the States, and I'm probably going to butcher the name, but there is a bakery / macaroon store called Lauderie.
Yes.
Right? It's kind of like that, but pink, and it serves croissants. Amazing. So now that we kind of have that and you know the vision, we're going to be working through everything inside of Adobe Express. So I've basically taken everything that I've done. I know on your stream you showed up how to set up a brand kit.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Which is so great. So if you haven't done that already, a cheese Danish. Kane, yes, we could definitely generate a cheese Danish. We set up the colors. I wanted to keep the color palette something that kind of just really looked super on brand is the way that I'm thinking of it. With that chocolate brown kind of grounding color. I'm going to all my brands. Give me a second. We got all of our fonts here, right? So these all were selected inside of Adobe Fonts. If you don't use Adobe Fonts, you're living under a rock. You can obviously go through the fonts inside of Adobe Express, but if you're a visual person like me, Itzel, do you go into Adobe Fonts a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a great way to look at things, right? And I think the way that it's laid out, if you're somebody who's visual or has a hard time pairing fonts together, there's a way in Adobe Fonts to look at fonts that work well together. So, for example, this one font here, I was like, this is so cute, but how can I pair this with something? And right inside of Adobe Fonts, it suggested the body font, which is so great.
That.
So we have kind of everything as well as all of our assets already generated
cute.
and ready to go.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be so good. And we're going to create one project. So from the home screen, the first thing that I want to kind of do is create a little bit of an announcement post. So I think for the essence of time, always starting with a template is kind of something that I love to do. Are you somebody who likes to design from scratch or from a template?
I mean, honestly, I design from scratch in Illustrator a lot, but when I go into Express, I go into it with the idea of working off of their templates.
Right.
Because they're so good. They have so many different options. And I also even like to sometimes take them as inspiration and then like flip them on my own.
I'm the same way. And honestly, like where you start with templates is never where you end up. Like there's, you know, from the home screen, you can search the templates like what I just did, or you can start with your project size, which for me, I'm an Instagram girly. That is my go-to platform of choice.
Same.
You can start right with the size projects that you're looking for. So obviously, if you don't know this, square posts are dead. We are now officially in our portrait era. I know.
One tier.
Quick little RIP moment.
Yeah, RIP.
I don't know about you, but I was so worried about, you know, when portrait posts came out, what is a grid going to look like? And I actually love it.
Yeah, I'm used to it now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh my God, my post looks so ugly because it cropped everything.
Right.
But now that I know and I'm like setting everything up for it, I'm like, oh, you
It
get to see
works.
more of the design.
It works, right? So you can see here, like we've been able to generate like so many fun graphics. I'm already feeling like this one right here is the one that I'm leaning towards.
Cute.
Right. And I think that there's a way that, you know, if we were to maybe recolor some of these.
Yes.
That could be really cool once we bring in like our beautiful pink croissant. I think this is, it's promising.
Yeah,
right?
I can definitely see this layout working perfectly with like your with the aesthetic.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. So I think what we're going to do first is let's first change the background, because I think once we change the background, we're going to be able to kind of start seeing things
Already
fall into place,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do think, like, you know, when we're working with colors, like, I always like to make sure that there's some sort of a dark color. It doesn't have to be black.
Mm-hmm.
I think being creative, like, I did a really nice chocolatey brown to kind of mimic what chocolate would look like,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, I mean, I think just having fun with it, and in terms of your colors, like, don't be afraid to experiment. Having your brand board picked out ahead of time is definitely helpful. I'm going to delete any of the little elements that I don't need, because we really want to stick to pastries, right? And things that, so there's some things in here I want to say that I'm not needing, like this guy right here. Let me actually ungroup these as well. You'll notice when you're working in templates, and I'm sure like Itzel, you probably see the same thing, that some items are grouped. So don't be afraid to, like here, for example, this background, I actually don't need this if I change the color of the page to that. And it makes your file less heavy too. Okay. So we're going to start with maybe getting rid of, maybe we'll put new croissant here, because we're announcing our new croissant, right? So going to our brand fonts, I'm thinking that we'll use this one here, I think would be fun. And as we kind of bring this to life, it's going to make a little bit more sense. So going back to our Firefly boards, let's zoom in on this croissant and see what do we have planned out for this. So we're calling it the Rosé Croissant. I'm like thinking of Emily in Paris right now.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very big. Hold on. Let me go back because I'm pasting from.
Oh, right. It's a very big board.
Yes. Is it going to come up with the E? Perfect. Do you know is the E, I want to say it's this way?
Oh, and
The other way. The other way.
I mean, it is French, so.
I know. I love everything Parisian. I am not the best with the accents. I think they're called accent aigus. Is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Don't come for me, chat. And then we'll spell croissant. How do you spell croissant is the next?
CROI.
SSANT.
Yes.
Perfect.
You got it.
Look at how cute that looks already. And we'll go ahead and get rid of this. We do not need her. And then from our brands, I've already uploaded all of my Adobe Firefly generated images in here, so I can just kind of plop them in, which is super helpful. Here we go. And then I think what we'll do is remove the background, right? I'm like obsessed with the gold flakes.
It's so pretty.
This is what I want. This is what I expect, y'all, when I go to get a croissant. I'm really not asking for a lot, I don't think. We'll give remove background a second just to kind of start working its magic. And there we have it, right?
So
How
cute.
Oh my goodness. I love, love, love this so much. And I think, too, the shape of the croissant is actually perfect.
I know.
You don't get that all the time. I think, like, when you're trying to create something from your brain and, like, put it together in a prompt and have something, you know, AI generated. But I think, you know, being as specific as you can and really playing around with your prompt, one of the things that I like to do, which you all know, chat, for anybody who's tuned in to my streams before, is I always love going into ChatGPT and having it help me with my prompt.
Yeah, which I found out today.
Yes. It's like one of my little secret life hacks is, you know, just asking for help where I need it, and talking to ChatGPT, telling it what I want, and then having it write out my prompt for me. And then in the past, if that hasn't worked, I've even used the rewrite feature. A couple of weeks back, we did a live stream and we showed creating a giant stiletto over the city of San Francisco.
Okay. So
my prompt was not working. I used a rewrite here in Adobe Express, and it gave me exactly what I wanted, which was so cool. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this, 25% off, that kind of thing. I don't think that we need that. Over here, let me see.
The chat is hungry now.
We're all hungry.
We're all hungry. I wanted to get a croissant this morning and I didn't have enough time. So now I'm just like
now it's
getting
really
hungrier by the second.
It's really doing that. I think we're all going to be eating croissants this afternoon. One of my favorite features is duotone. Do you use that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're ever like working with an element or something and you don't have, let's say, the option to work with changing the color, like maybe the file type just doesn't allow you to change the color. I'm trying to see these. Like here you see I don't have the option to change the color.
Yeah.
You can go into effects and go to view all undertones, and then you'll see duotone pops up here. And you can actually just choose your color, and you can see that it's changing it in real time. Now it's in that like beautiful chocolatey brown that we wanted, which is kind of one of my like life hacks, to be honest.
Right. I love going in there and just like playing around with all the different modes and colors.
Right.
Because you never know what you're going to get and like what looks good. Like you might come in with an
sure.
idea and then just like have a pleasant surprise.
I think it's like trial and error, really. At the end of the day, like play around with what works for you. As the more that you kind of create, you'll learn the features that kind of work for you in your signature style.
Definitely.
For me, it's duotone. I swear, if we were to do a compilation chat of the amount of times I've said duotone during my live streams, it always makes its grand entrance. Like, we don't even have to be talking anything about, graphics, and I'm still talking about duotone somewhere, which is so fun. So let me see what happened here. I zoomed in too far. I'm going to delete these circle, like, little doodly things. I don't really feel like I want them. And that's the beauty in templates, right? Like, you can start with one thing. It doesn't have to be what you end up with, but playing around with kind of all the different elements and how they're working for you. Okay.
So cute. It's coming together. It's looking like it fits the brand. And I think this is the funnest part, where you're just like playing around with all the elements, making it your own.
I was thinking maybe like adding these 3 lines somewhere on this side too, but I'm not sure if now it's trying too hard, so we're not going to.
Yeah, either way, I feel like they work.
They're cute, right?
Yeah, they definitely are. Let's see.
I'm going to flip this, and maybe we can get this little heart to kind of be coming out of the croissant, which is so cool.
Yes.
I think when it comes to like announcement graphics, I think also animations plays a really big part, which we're going to do in just a second, because there are so many different fun animations that we can really be doing with these. But I think, like animating them, having fun with making them more interactive. We're in like a Reels era, which we all know. And I think if you're going to be posting graphics on social media, they have to be super engaging.
Definitely.
And like eye-catching and have some sort of animation to them, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like Express really helps with animating your images so it's not static, and then you can just make them a little more interesting in literally seconds.
Right. Okay, we're going to put our name here. Bon Bon Bijou. Oh, wrong letter. Bon Bon Bijou. There we go. Just so cute. Kind of like a little, almost like a fake logo we've created, which is so much fun. I'm thinking even too, I wonder if we were to maybe instead of the bottom using this like chocolate brown, maybe we make it pink, which could be cute.
Yeah, that could be cute.
Right? Just playing around and seeing what feels good.
I like that.
Kind of feels like a little brighter, right?
Yeah. A little tonal moment. That looks really cute.
Maybe we'll bring this somewhere in this bottom corner. And I don't know if we want to keep this. I think it looks too busy almost. I'm wondering if maybe we can find a Parisian pattern.
Oh,
Maybe we'll keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so under media, nope, I'm gonna go under elements actually. And we'll type in Paris and see under backgrounds what comes up.
Let's see.
These little Eiffel Towers are super cute. Or even maybe if we did bakery. And let's see if something cute comes up. Maybe we'll type in girly. This might not know what I'm talking about.
No. I did cake earlier and I was getting, let's see, some cute patterns.
Like the sprinkles are so cute, right?
Yeah. Let's see if there's...
Maybe sprinkles? Is it? Oh, even this like frosting. But this is like really intense.
That's kind of, yeah.
But I wonder if we lower the opacity down.
Ooh, that works. That's like a little texture.
Right. And it kind of gives it a little bit of a personality, which I like.
Yeah.
I'm kind of here
it.
for it.
I know. I am too.
Okay, perfect. And then let's animate this. So everybody, if you were to describe yourself in an animation, what would be the Adobe Express animation that describes you best?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I always go for, I think it's called bounce. Or wobble.
See. Ah, the wobble, yes. Is it in
It's
loop,
the one
I
that
think?
goes like...
Maybe Bob you're thinking of?
Yeah, Bob.
I always
that
say
one,
Bob.
Yeah, that
I'm
one.
a Bob girly. Like, if I was in animation, this is me.
I know. I was like, do you see the similarity?
I love. There's so many different fun ones that we can play around with, right? Like jitter. This looks like a
Jitter's
crazy
chaotic.
croissant to me.
Yeah.
The yo-yo is fun,
That one's
right?
fun.
Wiggle is a good one. Just kind of like
Wiggle's cute.
gives a little moment, which is so fun. Breathe is more of like a subtle. You can make it a little bit more subtle, right? You can change the intensity if you don't want it like doing too much. It was really doing the most there.
Yeah. I feel like it's a perfect animation style for a heart.
Right. Definitely for a heart, for sure. Like
a
right
heart
now.
illustration. Yeah.
For me, I definitely think it's got to be Bob. And I
Yes,
think we just
same.
need to lower the intensity maybe a little bit.
Jeff is saying for me it's pop, and then Cheryl is saying wiggle.
I love such good choices.
Also, Darlene said they're loving this so much, which we are too. This is so fun. I'm loving the whole process. I really want this to exist more and more by the second.
I know.
I'm sad I can't go to it after this live. So
I definitely feel like Firefly video, we're going to have to bring this to life.
yes.
Okay, so I think we're going to do Bob. I think we just need a little bit more room with these elements because when it's moving, it doesn't have enough room to do its thing. So we kind of just need a little bit more room over here because we don't want it to kind of be in the way. You know what I mean? We don't want the croissant to kind of be in the way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is so cute, though.
So cute, Amanda says. It literally looks so dreamy with the bob. It's floating through my dreams.
I love this. You
I
guys, hype me up.
Yeah. Everyone's excited. Everyone's hungry. We're all loving this.
There's this really cool feature. You can animate, when you animate in, you can actually decide. I think we might even do Benji in. I'm just trying to think. I don't think Rise could do slide, and then we don't have to worry about it covering the text when it pops in. Spin. It's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Tumble's kind of cute, like we're dropping the croissant,
Yeah.
right? I'm a big pop girly.
Mm-hmm.
Pop is kind of my go-to, which is always so fun. But when you choose something like bungee, you can actually choose if you want it to start from outside of your project, which is so cool. Because if you kind of look at, let's look at bungee, for example. Let's play this animation. You're going to kind of see that it doesn't really start outside of the page, right? Like it's kind of popping in, let's see here, popping in from where the croissant is. So if you kind of want to make sure that your animation starts from outside the page, what this is going to do is when the animation kind of pops in, you're going to see it starts now at the top.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a really cool kind of feature as well. Let's play this. I want to do a little bit less of a bungee. Actually, I think we were doing pop and I was showing you bungee. I think pop.
Yeah.
Okay, chat, we're doing a poll. Can we get a poll up here? Do we want to do pop, which is this one here, and then a bob, or the bungee? And I'm wondering now, is bob giving too much? If we're doing an animation in, maybe we remove the loop animation, and what we'll do is just animate in and animate out.
Okay.
So let us know, chat, pop or bungee is what we're deciding on, right? And in the meantime, while we kind of have that going, I'm going to get my next page set up here so that we can start working on our next promotional graphic for our launch kit. We're going to do this one as a story. So hopefully I just chose the right 1920 by 1080, I think.
So far, we're getting pop votes.
Pop! I knew that we were all on the same page.
She's popular.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you watch Wicked?
Not yet.
I feel like that should be illegal. The song Popular lives rent-free in my head.
I know the song, yeah.
Okay, so pop it is. The chat has weighed in. Thank you so much for the poll, Jack. Okay, pop. Let's do it. So down over here, we're going to do pop in, and then we'll do a pop out. Another little trick for socials for you is if you're going to do a video like this, keep it shorter in length. I would say maybe 3 to 4 seconds, and then it'll loop on Instagram, which will help boost the algorithm and get you more views on your post, which is definitely a little hack of the day for you. Okay, let's look at this one, and let me see. We're going to get rid of this for a second, and we'll play. I need to see my timeline. Hold on a second. Edit timeline. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So it'll pop in, give it its little moment, and then it'll pop out. Super fun,
Love
right?
it. Yeah.
I
So
love.
cute.
And first graphic done just like that. Amazing. Okay, so second page we're going to work on here is going to be our countdown graphic. So we know that this new croissant is coming to a Bon Bon Bijou bakery near you. And now we kind of need something to get our community excited, to be a little bit of a countdown for the moment. So I think what we're going to do for this is take a photo of maybe the outside of our bakery, which could be cute. And maybe we'll lower the opacity here. Is that the way you say it, opacity? Opacity, right?
Opacity, yeah.
Every time I say it, I think that I'm saying it incorrectly. Okay, it's all light pink, dark pink.
I like the dark.
The dark, it just kind of pops.
Yeah, I'm
more,
feeling
right?
the dark, and I guess we can always just like change it if it's getting too busy.
True. Fair enough. Okay, so with a countdown, obviously we know on Instagram, maybe not obviously, maybe you're brand new to countdown. So on Instagram, when you're posting a countdown, you are going to want to leave room for your countdown sticker. I'm not a designer by nature. I'm a social media girly, and I think there's a difference. So I think that whenever I'm creating something that's specifically going to be used on socials, I kind of need to see that there's space for what I need to add in terms of the engagement stickers. So something that I personally do is I'll always add in a placeholder bubble that kind of mimics where the countdown is gonna go. This looks like a little much right now because it's not branded.
That's such a great idea.
Right? Like it just kind of gives you an idea, and you can kind of design around what you're doing so that you're not ever left in a spot where you're like, wait, I wish I had space for my countdown sticker.
Yeah, just like a little placeholder. That's
Right.
perfect.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and kind of leave that in. Now, if you're somebody who manages a team, so at Socials and Stilettos, we have a team of 5 incredible socialistas, and, you know, communication and scheduling posts and things are super important. So when we're designing, like maybe somebody wouldn't know what type of bubble I would want there. So I just always make sure to add a little bit of text. Maybe we'll do a countdown and just kind of place it inside of the bubble so that we know what that is.
That's great. So it makes it just super clear for whoever is looking at that image.
Exactly. Okay, so we have our countdown sticker placement. I think what we obviously need to do is add in the croissants because like we need to show people what they're counting down for, right? And instead of reinventing the wheel, I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to copy some of the elements that I want to bring over into my next page. It's going to look a little hectic for a second, but trust the process. We will see where we want to put this croissant. Maybe in the corner, something cute.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Could be cute, right? It's promising. Maybe we want to have a few croissants. That could also be cute. Maybe we want to have them like bungee in now, right?
Oh,
With
that would be fun.
animations. Super cute. And now let's see. We loved the dark pink, but do we feel a lighter pink is going to help things stand out a little bit more, or even the beige?
The beige looks cute too. They
Like
all
the
look
champagne,
cute.
right? Like it's
Yeah.
so cute. Okay, let's see as we kind of continue to move through this. I'm going to move this countdown sticker up. I love guides. Anybody who's a small business or new to Adobe Express, I would say, like, don't be afraid to look for your guidelines. Like for me, see the purple lines popping up. It's going to show you where things are aligned with. So when you see it pop up over here, obviously you would know that that's aligned with the croissant on the bottom. You can kind of use your eyes to gear where the center line of your project is, which is super helpful as you're going through things. Now, as I'm kind of working through this, I'm kind of curious. When in doubt, duplicate your page
Yes.
so that you don't have to like undo a bunch of things. And I kind of want to see if we were to use the photo of the inside of the display cabinet of the bakery, like maybe one of these, if it would just feel like it fits a little better.
Yeah,
So
let's see.
even like on a plain background, that would look so cute, right? But we're trying to kind of really sell this bakery. So Bon Bon Bijou is making its like official grand entrance into the chat.
Yum.
Okay, maybe something like that is cute too.
That is so cute too.
Right? We have kind of 2 options here. Something that I will say is the text, the font specifically. Sometimes you work with a font, and the thinner fonts I find like this, the more decorative looking fonts, sometimes when there's a busy background like this, it's kind of hard to see them.
Yeah, they get a
Using the
little
word
lost.
pop. They get a little lost,
Yeah.
or like it looks a little hectic or hard to read.
Yeah.
So effects is something for me, like I always love, like definitely doing the glow or something. And right now you can see like it has a dark color, but if we were to use one of the brighter colors, it just kind of separates the font or the text from the background a little bit, which I think is super helpful.
Yeah.
right? Like, do
Yeah,
you
like
ever
a
play
little
around with
shadow,
those?
definitely.
Even this one, halo, too, right? Like, you can definitely see there's subtle changes, but they're definitely like doing the most, which is great. Even lift, right? And it just kind of creates a little bit of separation. So definitely, if you feel like your text is not standing out, maybe, you know, play around with some of the text effects to kind of see what you can come up with. Okay. This is like looking so adorable. We're going to make this a little teensy bit smaller. And then I think adding an animation.
So cute.
I'm so obsessed. Okay, so animation, let's see what we're going to do. I definitely think we didn't do bungee before we did pop. So maybe this time for any of our bungee voters, which was nobody.
Nobody. Everyone was team pop.
Nobody wanted the bungee. We'll do bungee down, I think, which could be cute. Let's see, and we'll start from outside the page. Oh, we're doing out. Hold on. This is what I'm doing. Bungee. We're going bungee in, down. Hopefully y'all are following. Bungee in, down is the first one.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, we're bungeeing in and down. So we'll start from outside the page. And then to exit the animation, we'll bungee in. We'll bungee out, up.
Okay.
I hope everyone's
Bungee
following.
in, down, bungee
Out,
up.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. We got it.
Okay, so let's play this and see how this looks. Maybe it's a little fast, do we think?
A little bit.
I think maybe it's just coming in a little hot. So let's go ahead and maybe do one down and we'll just maybe increase the duration, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So we have this at 1.29 and then 1. And we'll do this the same way. 1.29. See? Okay, let's see again. That's a little better, right?
That is, yeah.
But I do think that it just kind of like goes a little lower than what I wanted. So I'm just going to raise them up a teensy bit. Let's see. Cute.
So cute.
And this would be one that I think a bob would look cute on, maybe.
Yes.
Right? I love a good bob moment. So cute.
So cute.
Okay. Look at that. And we have our little croissants. And then once that countdown sticker is placed over top, just keep in mind that the croissants are going to animate behind, right? So, I mean, if you're somebody who wants those croissants to be in front, just maybe keep that in mind if placement wise where your countdown sticker is going to be to make sure that you're not putting them in a place that they're going to get covered.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And simple enough, now that we've kind of done that one, what we can do is get rid of this slide. We're going to duplicate this over here. We're going to swap out the background. And now we have another variation. And then we'll do one more. Duplicate. Oh, I didn't mean to delete. Me all the time clicking things.
Oh, yeah, same. Like moving too fast.
Right. And then we can do one more as well.
Maybe we can even see like a big croissant animating in one of those, like instead of two.
Right. Like play around with it, right?
Yeah.
And do like a larger croissant, you're thinking?
So cute. She might be too big with the animation, but we'll see. I mean, that's the really fun thing is you can change things so fast.
And try, right? Like
Yeah.
it's all trial and error.
Yum. I mean, that looks so cute.
And even too, like placement wise, like if we're going to do a larger croissant, maybe we want to change where the countdown sticker is. Maybe we want to bring it to the bottom. Something that you're going to want to keep in mind with stories is placement and where things are going to get cut off. So we know that at the bottom of a stories graphic over here,
Yeah.
obviously, like, there's that little reply section. So there's, like, a good section of your graphic, probably about this much, to be honest, that you really shouldn't place anything that you want people to engage with. A countdown sticker, if you tap it, it will allow you to opt in to be reminded when that countdown is done. So if you want your audience to kind of engage with those things, I would definitely suggest, like, keeping it above kind of that zone, right? Okay, and then we'll place this in the middle and we'll see what happens. So cute.
So
right?
cute. And then you have so many different variations that you could use. Because obviously, like for social media, especially, you don't want to be super repetitive.
Right.
And so this kind of shows the same message, but like in a different way.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think, like, honestly, like, just having fun with placements and variations, like, if you're talking about really like a launch kit, for me, anytime that we're launching something for either our brand or for our clients, something that we always keep in mind is people need to see things an average of 7 to 21 times. I know that's a broad range. It's the data. Like, they need to see it that many times in order to decide if, like, they care about it enough to, like, decide. So, you know, repeating yourself and continuing to promote the things that you're launching is so important. And, you know, having a launch plan in place where you're promoting things, you know, 2 to 4 weeks ahead of when they're actually happening is one of my biggest tips to probably share with you today.
Yeah. That's such a great tip, especially because I don't know if this happens to you, but like when posting on social media, sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm showing this so many times.
Right.
But like in reality, it doesn't register in people's minds. So you do want to keep posting it. And now we know at least 7 times.
Yeah, which is so, I know it sounds like a lot. And like, trust me, even with your content, like repurposing content, it's all like, do you ever, when you, like, do you repurpose your content? Do you post the same thing more than once?
Yeah, and I don't do it enough. Like, I need to do it more because I've been creating for years and I have so much content.
Right.
And I do not repurpose it enough. But, like, every now and then there's a few pieces that I do. And I'm like, yeah. And people react like if they just saw it for the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, your following hopefully is growing every single day, even if it's just by one person when you're being consistent. So making sure that, you know, things that you haven't posted for a little while, like, you recycle it. Like, don't be afraid to pop in and maybe like change the color of the background or like update, refresh a little bit, give it a bit of a facelift. But like, I think ultimately at the end of the day, like, making sure that you are repeating yourself, because if you're not talking about your business, nobody else is.
Yeah, that's such good advice. So now you know, guys, 7 times at least.
I'm just seeing here, I want to create kind of, and this is a great other kind of variation of a template that you could use for a countdown or something that you're launching. Like, there's so many different templates to choose from inside of Adobe Express. Me, if it's a countdown, I want it to go in stories, because for me, interactions is everything. So having people engage with that countdown sticker is like something that could be so great for any business. Okay, so I wonder if we do a now open and see what comes up.
Yes.
I think doing something where we're showing like the bakery is now open.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea. I'm really envisioning something that has space where we're going to be able to see the bakery mock-up that we created inside of Adobe Firefly Shine.
You need something with a photo for sure.
Right. And I think I'm just kind of going through to see. I saw one at the top that I love. You could get lost in the templates.
Seriously, I take so long.
What do you think the longest has been that you've ever spent searching for a template?
I mean, maybe 30 minutes. Does that sound like too much? I mean, I don't know.
I spent once like 3 hours.
Oh my God. I stopped myself. I'm like, okay, you got to pick something.
Right. Like, you got to kind of settle on something. And I think a lot of the times when you are kind of creating, it's having a vision of what you want in the first place is great. If you don't know, templates can be great, but like, set a timer, because you will find yourself in a scroll hole on the template.
Yeah, especially, if you have to, I don't know, submit it at a certain time, or you're working with deadlines, like, you better set a timer for yourself.
It's so true. Okay, so let's go here and we're gonna edit this text to be in our one of our beautiful fonts that we've kind of chosen. I haven't really gotten a chance to play around with this one very much. And this one is like so dainty and so girly and so Parisian, if you will. And then we're just gonna go ahead and just flip out some of these fonts to kind of match more the brand suite that we've kind of put together. This one here, I'm thinking, let me see. We're going to keep all these very simple. Oh, perfect. Has it changed them all for me? It has. Don't we love that?
I know. I love that.
I love when it does things like that for me. I'm actually thinking this is the font that we want up here. I'm choosing the wrong font. Okay, I don't know how to say the name of this font, but this is one of the fonts that was suggested with this main font that I had. Yeah, what did you say?
Productus?
Productus?
I don't know.
We are productive girlies over here. I love it. Okay, so I think we can keep probably the date and everything. We're just doing a mock-up, kind of like just creating a little bit of a launch kit that you guys can play around with and make your own. You obviously would flip out your own times, dates, all of that fun stuff, location. This is where we can just pop right into these images and press replace.
I love that.
Right?
So quick.
I just feel like it's work smarter, not harder is kind of my motto in life recently. We want to kind of show more of this. So I'm just going to kind of play around and extend this out just a little bit to kind of give more of the overall vision of what we have going on here. I also am thinking I want to see with the background, maybe doing something a little, no, I think the pick we had was the best choice.
Yes.
Okay. I swear that's half of my workflow is trial and error. Like,
Oh,
let me
yeah,
just
same.
see,
Yeah.
like, what's going to happen, right?
And a lot of times it's kind of accidents, but then you learn
Right.
new things and things happen that look so cute and
They're
you
like-
wouldn't expect it.
Happy accidents,
Yeah,
right, is
seriously.
what you can call them.
That looks so cute.
I love this. Okay, so I wonder, do we want to keep this circle here? I don't
Kind
know.
of like, but it depends because we can add one of the
Right.
cute fun icons.
Right. Like, we could also, like, remove, like, do the croissant or, like, some of the things
Yes.
and remove the background and, like, kind of keep it, like, really promotional on the products that are
Maybe a
getting
little croissant.
launched, right? Like, the croissants. And, again, like, to save myself time, we're going to go over here, grab one of these guys, pop it in. I'm thinking there's so many other mocked up desserts that we didn't get the chance to yet play around with. So.
Amanda's putting this in her calendar.
Same.
I wish.
I think like something a little smaller so that it's not taking up the whole
Yeah, that looks
graphic,
so cute.
right? Or even like we could take maybe this box and remove the background. This one I didn't even get. I don't even know if we really took a hard look at this with the stiletto.
Yeah, it's so
Right?
cute.
Gold embellished stiletto. But I kind of want something that is in like full frame.
What about the
Maybe
little, one
Right?
of those little,
one of the little donut, the little donuts,
so cute.
the little donut bomb. Okay. Now this is going to really put Express to the test. Remove background, and it worked.
Yay!
I was so generally worried because anytime I see like a busier background or things that could be too similar in tone to what you're doing, I always worry. I'm like, is it gonna get everything?
Yeah.
And every single time it does.
I know.
It does the job, right?
It's so good.
Okay, this over here, I know that we did something fun. We did an effect. We did a lift. Okay, so let's do the same thing for consistency with this donut bomb over here. We're going to go to effects. We're going to press lift. And we're going to go to custom. And then we don't like that like dark. Kind of takes away from the graphic. I feel like a little, the vibe, the overall vibes. The dark is not really...
Yeah, maybe if we lighten it a little bit.
Right. And I think like using one of the brand fonts, like this gives it a little glow.
Perfect. She's angelic.
I love that. I just feel like it's one of the cutest ways to kind of elevate anything that you're doing, right? Super cute.
So cute.
We can kind of play around with positioning a little bit. Maybe over here. And then I think this one over here we did the dark. So let's go ahead and bring the same kind of,
Need to match.
Is that angelic?
So cute.
Same kind of angelic glow. I want to say that we might have even, so it's 14 minus 135 and 24. Okay, perfect. I always love to just double check everything.
I know. Have a match.
Okay, and I'm wondering, I feel like, I don't know if there's anything else really we need to add to this. Any ideas?
Oh, it's so cute. I mean, you could add some of the doodles from the first one.
This is like the artist in you coming out, right? You're like, let's add the doodles, and it helps kind of
But
with
you don't have
consistency,
to.
right?
But yeah, I think we could just make the brand everything a little more cohesive.
And maybe even changing with our handy dandy duotone tool. Instead of doing like that dark chocolate brown, maybe we do one of the lighter colors to kind of match.
Mm-hmm.
I think
yes.
cute,
So
right?
cute.
Maybe we'll bring this up just a teensy bit, right? Like how
Yes.
cute is this looking?
I love it.
I love these little star elements.
I know, me too. Yeah, let's bring those in.
I think maybe, where would you put them, Itzel?
Yeah, maybe like, I'm saying like bottom left somewhere.
Like somewhere here, kind
Yeah,
of in the
like-
corner, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we bring in both of them
Yeah, let's
in
try
the
it.
bottom corner and
Why
see.
not?
I think half of what's throwing us off right now is the fact that they're round still.
I think so.
Once we kind of put them in that beautiful light cream, it's like a champagne cream color, they're going to look so much better.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, let's see. And actually in this one, we're doing white. So you can like tell, I swear, like sometimes the smallest thing will make the biggest difference.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Super
so
cute.
cute.
Maybe we'll make this one just a teensy bit smaller.
Adorable. I love it.
This is so good. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're already almost at time.
Yeah, we are almost at time, but we have such a great presentation, like so many options for your business that
It's
we
so
all wish we
true.
could attend.
I love this so much. And as promised, I am going to quickly create a shareable link to give you all. So
Yes.
as we kind of wrap up, what did we work on? We worked on creating a little launch kit. You have a lot of assets that you have to work in here. You have countdown graphics, a promotional graphic, and a announcement graphic, which is so fun. And as I kind of get this link ready for you, maybe we can flash up the schedule for the day, Jacob. So many things that we have going on. Do you want to run them through what we've done today?
Yeah, so we've done the Express Tricks for Small Business Owners Part 1, which we're going to go into Part 2 in a second. I'm very excited. And then we did the Pitch Perfect, designing pitch decks that stand out with Andrea. You were part of that one.
That
a
one
little
was
bit
so
ago.
good.
Yes.
We got to see so much. Like Andrea really created a whole pitch deck from scratch.
Oh my God,
which
I
is so
know.
cool.
It was wonderful. And then this, like, everyone wants to attend now. Oh, it's been such a great day.
It's been so good. This template link is really taking forever, y'all. So if this does not
happens.
generate, I will hand it to the mods and they will drop it in the chat for you all. But my biggest tip for you when it comes to creating a launch kit, definitely keep in mind the more that you share, the better results you're going to have when you're launching anything. Have fun. Make sure that you have your brand elements and assets ready to go and just have fun with it.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Have fun.
Amazing.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stick around. There is still one more stream. Are you
Yes.
next? right?
Yes, I am. So,
Amazing. So much fun. We'll see you guys shortly.
bye.
today we're gonna show you how to create stunning and cohesive Instagram aesthetics.
I'm gonna start off with this picture right here. I'm gonna start off with the remove tool, and I'm kind of just going over the spot with the Uggs.
So
See, the Uggs are out of sight, out of mind.
Those are my Uggs.
Oh, sorry, but your Uggs are not wanted in this picture. Let's try the mirror. So we're gonna do the same thing where I'm just outlining it and then kind of just filling it in. Gone.
Oh, wow.
Like literal magic. It's crazy. Yeah, Photoshop is the coolest thing ever. So next I have this picture of me in the mirror. So this tool is the straighten tool, and all you literally have to do is, if someone's like taking a picture of you, for example, and it's kind of crooked, you pretty much can just drag from the top of your head to the bottom of your body, and it automatically straightens out the picture.
What?
I know, crazy. And now instead of the remove tool, I'm gonna use the spot healing brush tool and get rid of all these little dark marks on the walls, just literally dragging over
It's
it.
so simple. Oh my
It's
God.
gone.
So now all these photos that Bianca just edited, we're gonna bring them over to her phone. She's gonna show you kind of how to edit it in Lightroom.
So again, you can just play around with the exposure. If you find the picture to be too dark, brighten it up a little bit.
Hold your finger down on the photo. It like shows the original. And then when you take it off, you'll see what you edited. So you
easy.
see the before and after as you're updating it.
We're gonna also do some contrast on this picture. And then for highlights, it kind of just brightens up the lighter parts of the picture. So I'm gonna play around with both of these a little bit. So now I'm going into the color section. I'm gonna warm this picture up the slightest bit. But the blur tool is what really takes your pictures to the next level. So with this tool, you can blur the background and have like a main focus area of the picture. And then you'll press this little button in the corner that says focus, and you can adjust the focus range. So again, just playing around with it so that Nicole, Kate, and Becky are in focus. So I'm going to decrease the blur quite a bit just so that it's very minimal. Okay, so I'm also going to play around with the color grading a little bit. For example, if I'm doing the shadows and I want it to be more like pink toned, I can just subtly drag it. Yeah, so it just added like a little bit of a pinky tint, which we love. We're pink girlies, so we love pink. Once you have everything you needed done to your pictures, you will press these three dots in the top corner and press create preset. And I'm going to name this behind the scenes shoot and save it. And then once you have it saved, like it's literally just done.
Like, what?
Save that, super cute. Yeah guys, this is like the easiest thing ever. Like anyone can do this. Like I could probably like show my mom this and she would be able to figure it out, and she is like not a technology girl. I'm just gonna open up Express here, just drag and drop these, easiest thing ever, and then I'm going to just organize them.
And I feel like you can already tell, like, because of this filter you created,
Everything
or the
matches
preset,
so
everything
much better.
matches so well. I'm obsessed with this.
So if you were to be uploading these on Instagram, you could kind of just use Express in this way to like just see how everything looks laid out together.
But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning into this segment. We hope you guys slay your social aesthetic.
Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Itzel and I'm very, very excited to do our part 2 of the Adobe Express tricks for small business owners. If you didn't hear who I am, I am a graphic designer, illustrator, and business owner, which is why I'm here showing you my tips and tricks. And I want to introduce my lovely friend.
Hi, I'm Andrea Campos. I'm an author, illustrator, and also small business owner. If you were in our previous sessions, you saw me walk through the steps of making a pitch deck and a presentation. And I'm really excited to be here with Itzel and see what other interesting tips and tricks she has to share with us when it comes to using Adobe Express to market your small business.
Yeah, thank you. I'm super excited. So if you joined us earlier today, we went over how to create a logo from scratch using, she got big. There we go. Using,
more cake.
I know, more cake for us. Using the brand. So basically today we're working a lot with the brand section of Express, which is right here. We did this logo from scratch using this button. I'm just gonna go through it real quick. We're not gonna create a logo anymore, but I'm just gonna show you. If you hit this button, you can go through this and create your own logos. There's a lot of different fun options.
I love that little coffee cup. Oh, I like this font too. This is nice. I need to save this one.
I know. This one's so good. It's in the logo section.
It's a good one.
And then also we created a brand from scratch. So we worked on this Pixley's Oddities. We brought in our logos. We made our color palette. We chose our fonts. And then we started working on some templates, which is what we're going to visit or revisit right now. And then we also added some assets. So I think last time we were still missing our last, let me go into the templates. And I want to show you. So we did these flyers. Basically, we're pretending like we are dropping new products. We have a hat, we have a sticker, and we have a bumper sticker. And we're making designs for all of them. And then we're going to go and animate them. And then I'm going to show you. We're just going to be animating, creating templates and animating today.
Cute. I feel like that's an essential skill to have, especially if you want to make your work stand out on social media or you want to give a little bit of a refresh to things that you've already created. Adding a little bit of animation is the way to go.
Definitely. And right here in the homepage, you can see the templates. They are on our left and they are also right here. I love this section because you can seriously find so many different options. They're all so fun. And then you can just filter out by like, I don't know if you want to highlight, Memorial. I was like, wait, not photos. We're not doing Memorial Day right now, but this is just an example of what you could do. Let me go back. Like a birthday thing, or if you wanted to do, this Memorial Day is haunting me. Summer.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so cute, so fun, depending on what you want to highlight. And then also when you are, here, let's browse. I want to show you, in case you weren't with us earlier today, what do we want to look at? Let's see. Let's look at this flyer section. So, and also we have the search template bar at the top. So maybe we can do small business. And let's see what happens.
National Small Business Week, like that.
That is so cute.
Small Business Market's cute too.
Yeah, I really love this illustration, and we are doing new products. So let me see if we can find new products. New product launch. Launch. Okay. These are feeling, okay, I see some that I could transform. A lot of them feel very serious for the vibe that I'm going for, but I'm sure we can find something that works for us.
If you have a more serious brand though, I feel like this is like a really nice place to start because you see all these templates work for you.
Yeah, because right now we're working with this brand, which is actually not a fake brand. Pixley's Oddities is a shop that exists in San Diego, and they do taxidermy, tattoos, and they also have a retail. So we're trying to find something that fits in that aesthetic, just something fun, playful, a little spooky. But obviously, you can adapt it to whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're in the chat, let us know what kind of business you are running. If you have a business or what kind of project you're working on, let us know.
Yeah, I feel like right now you have this unique challenge of finding something that hits this like fun, quirky, and like a little spooky. Like that's a very kind of narrow niche, but I think the majority of the templates that are on Express are a little bit more general than that.
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing is you can customize everything to what you need. And yeah, I'm excited to see you kind of go through that today.
Yeah, and I really love these two right here. I love how the things are being shown, like the product. And I might be biased too because maybe the sparkles are
the
called.
sparkles.
It's the sparkles.
I knew it. I knew it.
I can't resist the sparkle, you guys. So, Jeff is saying he digitizes family memories.
Oh, well, there's definitely a few templates that I've seen that I think could work really nicely, especially because they're so like photo focused. For you. Oh, cute.
I think I really love this. So we're going to work on customizing it, but let me go here and show you where you can see, I don't know if you noticed, I've been hearting things that I like. And so if you want to find everything, you can go to your stuff and then favorites. And right here, we should have every template that I've been liking right now. Yeah, so right now we're going to go and we're going to customize this one. Because I'm really liking this vibe. Like, you'll see right now, but my logo here, we're going to replace it with we're going to hit brands because we added everything into our brands earlier today. And so I want to add the logo. Perfect. And it even made it match, but we might make it go back to its original color later. We'll see. Although I kind of like the white right now. Oh my goodness. There we go. You guys, I'm used to working on a tablet, so anytime I use the trackpad, I'm like struggling. But here we go. There's our logo, and this shop has like a little angel logo, which I think this background kind of fits really well with it.
Yeah, I like the kind of ethereal kind of sky. You could always like add a color overlay too if you want to make it like more on brand. But like I think the cloud is a really nice touch.
Yeah, and the brand colors here, let me open this up, is pink, blue, black, and white. And so I think that really fits. But let's go ahead and switch these shoes, because we're not working with shoes today, to one of our, perfect, our assets. I think we are only missing the sticker, the bumper sticker, and so that's what we're gonna work with today. Maybe I'll just make it a little bit smaller.
A bumper sticker is such a cute idea for a brick and mortar to have. Like, I love how simple this is. Like, follow me to insert brand's name and have a visual that really kind of speaks to that.
Yeah, and I guess how this happened was like one of the customers came up with the idea.
Wow.
Yeah, and she asked like the business owner, and then she was like, hey, they gave me this idea. Can you design this for me? I was like, absolutely, say less. So I really, yeah, it's so cute. And so exciting. Okay, let's see. Here we're going to say new arrivals. And obviously we're going to have to fix our font size a little bit, but maybe not. Maybe we don't need this little circle right here, but I don't want to get rid of it just yet in case I change my mind. So we're gonna do this right here. I feel like I kind of do like this.
That's a nice layout.
Yeah, so let's say bumper sticker. You guys, I didn't have breakfast. I feel like I can hear
your tummy.
If you hear my tummy, mind your own business.
I know Itzel moved the little circle to the bottom left corner because she doesn't want to lose it. Sometimes another like little hack I do is just kind of create another whole sheet and keep that the same so I can
that's true.
Copy and paste the assets and just give myself the space to kind of play around with it, because the annoying thing is, of course, is to accidentally delete something that you want and then have to like go back and find it and stuff.
And
it's just
it's lost forever.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just cumbersome. So that's also like a little thing to consider maybe if you're like, hey, I like this template, I want to mess around with it. Just make 2 copies of it so you can pull the assets that you want from one into another.
Definitely. New. Well, I feel like, what could this say? I mean, we're already saying bumper sticker. I mean, does it seem kind of random at the top? That it says bumper sticker? Should that?
I think it might look better in the bubble. I'm just thinking what should go in the top.
I know. I'm like, what could?
It'd be cute if there was like a phrase that kind of played on the fact that it was a taxidermy place, like a dead inside kind of punny thing, but I don't want to put us on the spot to come up with one.
Chat, this is your task right now. What should this top part say? Bumper sticker. If you can, I don't know, think of anything, let us know. While I keep messing around with this. Because, yeah, I think this fits well here. New bumper sticker. Okay, maybe I'll make this a little bigger. And then even though, I mean, I'm liking this font, this isn't our brand font. So let's see what we can switch it to. And same, we can hit our brand folder. And then go right here.
Oh, I like how bold that is.
Yeah.
It really kind of stands out more.
Me too. Yeah, I think so too. So let's see. New arrivals.
And yes, Wade, we're thinking of something like quirky or clever to put on top where it says bumper dash sticker.
Yeah,
like
at the very top.
Because we like that there's something there. I think it helps with like the layout of the poster really nicely. But we're like,
What could it be?
what could it be? I'm thinking on it too.
Yeah, and right now I just grouped this because it kept
Wiggling.
wiggling everywhere. So right now we just grouped it, and
Honestly, grouping helps a lot because with
Yeah.
the layers, if not, it's really kind of hard to grab, especially the small things like little stars, or in this case, the circle. So I definitely recommend that.
yeah. And then I do think, let's center this. Okay, it was already centered. I do feel like I don't need this. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay. I can get rid of it.
I'm like, also, what would you say in there? We don't even know what we're going to say on the top
I
yet.
don't even know. So, no, we don't need more pressure to say anything. And so, let me see. I'm kind of...
Wade recommends vehicular sticular.
Okay, I kind of...
That's fine.
Would you... Putting your socials... Hi, Nikki.
Hello.
Yay. We have a friend joining in. Okay, Jeff is saying, would putting your socials work there? Oddity Commodities?
Ooh,
I
oddity
mean-
commodities.
You know what, though? It could be the name of the business.
Yeah, that's like nice to keep it simple.
Because that's not a bad idea. I know you were saying Oddity Commodity.
But Oddity Commodities is really cute and on brand for this. And maybe that's something that you would use in a social caption or something
Yeah.
else. So like good thinking. I think that branding is spot on. Maybe just, I think, not for the top of the poster.
Yeah.
And I think adding the socials is smart. Maybe we do that on the bottom if it works with the design.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think we definitely need socials. So my handle. I'm so used to typing my handle. I was about to write mine.
You're like, yay.
Yay, Itzel.
It's a fun one to type out.
Actually, yeah, my handle is at Yay, Itzel, if you guys want to check out my work. And then Andrea's.
I'm at Drea's Doodles, and you can see some of the work that I've done there as well.
It's so cute.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions too with either of our pages, like slide into our DMs. I think we respond for the most part with like any answer if we have an answer.
Yeah.
And then yes,
yeah.
Wade added the Pixley Oddities website into
I
the.
hope that's her actual website. If not, I'm sorry, Simone. Let me see. Oh.
Oh. Ooh.
Well, you know what? Pixley's Oddities is on Instagram, so.
Follow them on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, I'm really liking this.
That is so cute.
Do we need to add a little bit of an effect to this?
You can play around and just see if you like it. It's not like the beautiful thing with anything that we do on Express is that it's not permanent. So, oh wait, that's my personal one. which I don't really update anymore. So if you want to look at my artwork, definitely check out Drea's Doodles on social media. But
I
thank
thought
you.
were him. Yeah,
Yeah. Cute.
like that.
Yeah.
At. Okay, look it up, you guys.
Amazing.
And then mine's at Itzel.
Cute. I like the drop shadow that you added to.
Yeah, I think I like the drop shadow. So then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna save this. Does this look centered to you?
Only one way to find out. If it's grayed out, that means it's already centered.
So we are centered.
It just tells you like you're good.
I think it's, wait.
I think because we're on the side.
Yeah, I
it's hard
know.
to-
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, but it does feel centered to me.
Okay, perfect. So this one is ready to go. Now the only thing is, are my tops and bottoms centered? Let me group everything and then middle. Oh, there we go.
See,
Oh,
that's
not that one, but yeah.
nice.
Okay, perfect. Group. Great. So we're gonna go ahead, and I've been downloading everything. You can download it right here. It's super fast. And then you have it saved on your computer. I was trying to show you guys, but I don't know what happened. Yeah, right here. It's ready to go,
Perfect.
ready to be posted. And also, if you wanted, if you wanted it as something else, it gives you options here. I know we don't do the Instagram square post anymore. I normally use the square post for email blasts. I don't know if you ever do that. But for now, I do want to build an Instagram story, so we're going to go ahead and also generate an Instagram story from this.
I think this is perfect for an Instagram story.
Yeah, it's
It's-
the perfect layout, I feel.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind when you're designing for Instagram stories is just leaving a little bit of blank space so that within Instagram you can put the hyperlink
Yes.
in there, because that's how you're going to get folks to jump in and actually be able to buy the product or go to your page or whatever it might be. So that's like a little important thing that sometimes can be easy to forget.
Absolutely. And like right here, let me group this. Well, right here we need to leave a little bit of space at the bottom, just because when you're designing for Instagram stories, like that much, I keep moving to this way and it's this way. Like that much. Yes. I'm like, it's mirroring. That's why, you guys. But yeah, it gets like, what is it? It has like the answer bubble.
Oh yeah, that's where you can there's like a little overlay. So
Yeah.
you want to keep that clear. So I think where Itzel
Yeah.
has that space is
so-
good to keep in mind.
And then right here, we could just do, where are my elements? Horizontal bar. Let me see if it just does one. Could it just say bar?
Are you looking for like a rectangle? What are you looking for? I'm curious.
I drew that. See, a rectangle. I don't know why I said horizontal bar.
It might be easier to go under shapes if you're looking for something that's just a rectangle.
Oh, yeah, you're so smart.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
There it is. There's a rectangle, no?
Yeah, I think this would be perfect. And this is just like a little placeholder, because like Andrea was saying, we want to add, maybe that might be too big.
Yeah, I wish I could let you edit it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but we can do a white one. And so that way when we save it, let me center this. Perfect. You can save it onto your phone, and then when you upload it to Instagram, you just put your little box in there, like the buy now or whatever, and then just change it to say whatever you want to do. Like here, I'd say maybe check out our shop or something like that.
Yeah, it's good to have that reminder for where the hyperlink will go.
Mm-hmm. And then, as you see, now we have like our Instagram story ready to go, since we hit the little button where it reformatted it. It just took us like 5 minutes compared to starting all over and making a new design from scratch. So I'm gonna download it as well, and then
Cute.
perfect. she's beautiful. We're gonna go to my brands. And then I've been saving everything. Oh, let me go home. Brands. And then I've been saving everything to my templates folder, just so I have everything in one place.
Itzel is so organized. I love seeing other people's kind of like workflow in this way to understand how people do it, because I feel like I have room for improvement, definitely on that front.
I do like organization, so.
We have a question in the
yeah.
chat directed to you, Itzel, asking if you've ever spoken to a college or to Southwestern College in Chula Vista to students. I think someone recognizes you, maybe from a chat you did back in the day.
Yes. Actually, that was last Monday.
Okay, so not that back in the day.
Yeah, no, I didn't attend Southwestern College, but I did go to Southwestern College to do a talk. Yes, I think it was last Monday. I feel like my brain is scrambled right now, but literally a few days ago, and it was really fun. I love doing talks. I actually just did another one like a few days ago in Tijuana. So, yes, I did. Were you there? Or
I think they recognize you.
Or tell me more. Also, let me know if you have any questions for me or for Andrea. Like, let us know. We're happy to answer your questions.
Jeff Miller is asking, does Express support hyperlinks?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think we'd have to play around with that, because I don't know if it does it for images, but I feel like for text, maybe? Only one way to find out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me do some research on my end.
Yeah, let's try. We'll get back to you in a second. Oh, last year. Yes, oh, that's so lovely. Thank you for joining us. Yes. So I went back this year for Puente, which is a different program. Last year, I was there to do a talk for the graphic design program, which I'm sure that's the one you were a part of. And I did a little pop-up at the end, and it was so cute. So I'm so happy.
And Jeff, to answer your question, Adobe Express does support hyperlinks. I think how you do it based off of whether it's an image or text or whatever it might be varies. So definitely something you're gonna want to like play around with. Yeah, depending on how you use it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we have all of our templates in one place. Let me see. This one I want to show you. The other one is loading right now, so we'll see it later, but we're gonna go back. Oh, there we go. So now we can see all of our templates and all of our different formats, and if we wanted to create more, we can go in there and just like do it so quickly. But now I want to go back and go into our original one from this morning. Start a new file, and I'm gonna show you how I would animate all of these products and save them, same for social media. If you wanted to post it, make it as a post or share it to a story or whatnot. So we're gonna go, okay, it's loading. Oh, also you guys, I mean, this is separate, but since it's like prompting me, I wanted to talk about it. Now you can you can get things printed through Express, and it's powered through Sazzle. It's really great. Yeah, here, crafted for Sazzle. The material is really great. It ships really fast. Have you tried it out?
I have.
You did, right?
I've made cards with it, and I just wanted super quick.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes the step of having to like download and then re-upload to like another website or a different company to have it all kind of seamlessly exist in one space is really nice. And the cardstock is really nice.
Yeah, it's so nice because I'm really picky with my cardstock, and it was really, really great. I did February, like Valentine's Day cards for my Patreon subscribers. And so here, I just want to show you, I mean, just in case you didn't know.
It does mock-ups for you, which I think if you were part of my presentation is something just really nice to include, whether on your website or pitch decks or whatever, to kind of show what the product would potentially look like out in the real world. And it's nice that it generates these for you because you don't have to necessarily like change a lot yourself after the fact.
Yeah, because also back in the day, I remember like you would have to mock this up in Photoshop and it takes a while. And so it's so great to just see it right here, mocked up as a flyer, front and back, as a stack, curved. Like, it's so great. You can download the preview and then you can save it. And then also you can get it printed and delivered really, really fast. So just, that's like a little, what is it? A little tidbit of information.
We could go on and on about that, but
yeah, but that's not what we're talking about, so I'm closing that off. I just wanted to let you guys know. But yeah, so we're gonna select our little hat over here, and then we're gonna go into my favorite feature in Express. I work a lot in Illustrator, and so one of the things I love to use Express for is to animate, because I am not an animation. I do not know how to animate, at least not properly. It takes me such a long time. And so when Express came out with this feature, I was so excited because it literally takes seconds to animate your work. Have you tried it before?
I have. It's just nice to add a little bit of like wiggle to whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It's visually a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, Brittany and I in the last stream were talking about which one your favorite is. She put me on the spot by saying like, which one are you? But honestly, I always use the same one. I even forgot it again.
Which one do you normally use?
I was like the one that goes like this. But I think it's the Bob.
Wait, I was going to say, I like the one that kind of
Bob. I keep calling you.
Oh.
That one.
It kind of feels like you're out at sea. That's good for me to know, because I feel like if I draw a cute little character on a boat, I'm obviously going to use the Bob to have it just be like swaying in the ocean.
I don't know. I just really like, here, I'm going to show you a few things. First of all, when you animate, you can animate in, which means like the product will be animating into the page.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, if this was a race car, wow.
Like we're both like, whoa. This is a little fade. That is, also the dynamic animation is a new feature, which is why we're both like, wow.
Yeah, I hadn't
Actually,
seen that.
I want to, let's play around with this because this is so wild. Let's do a
I mean, that's going to be eye-catching for sure.
Whoa. I mean, and this might not be it for this, but I just want to show you what it does in case you're like, I see what.
It is trippy, Jeff.
I know. I got distracted
weird,
by the chat. Yes. Whoa is right. Let's see.
Honestly, I love that you're kind of clicking through different ones of these, because I'm like, okay, if I create a character that's like underwater, that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, like this is definitely giving underwater creature vibes.
It definitely feels. That could work really nicely with the water one, or the sky one. Sorry, I thought it was water.
Yeah.
Kind of flying in.
Yeah, because this almost feels like birdie, like a bird.
Wow.
This is so great. Okay, I'm just having fun right now, you guys. I hope you are enjoying this too. But okay, so anyways, we can animate in, we can do the dynamic one, or we could do something as simple as like a fade in or a flicker, or even have things bungee into the screen. So this is really just, it depends on the vibe that you want to convey, essentially, like the mood that you want to show. I think I just want it to be static, maybe. Actually, maybe I like the pop.
That's nice. It's not like too much.
Yeah. And I want a soft personality. And then we can also loop animations, which means it'll keep... Okay, so this is a new one, too. The dynamic animation is the new section. Why is it not doing it? Oh, wait. I kind of saw it.
Okay, this is giving ghost. Where it's just like ghosting itself off of the page.
Oh my god, this is going to be great for Halloween.
Yes.
Wait, I want it to be... Yeah, it's like floating away. This is really funny.
I think there's a lot of opportunity to use these animations in like a very like professional sense, but also in a way to add humor or levity to whatever work that you're doing.
Yes.
You know, I could see some great April Fool's posts coming out with these animations.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, let's see. So let's see what we have so far. Okay. We have the bob, which is cute. And I thought we were animating in, but maybe it removed it.
Oh.
Oh no, there we go.
Fun.
There, it's the pop and then the bob. And we can even animate out, but I don't know if this is gonna be overkill, but we're gonna just go for it, because why not? Maybe we spin out of the page.
Ooh.
She's a little crazy though.
Wade's like, bye. I feel like, when it leaves the page,
Yeah,
it
I
feels
was like,
like,
oh,
I'm out of
bye.
here.
And maybe we don't want it, but yeah, this might be too wild for us.
I think it is good to kind of just go through. If you know you're going to want to animate your work at some point, go through all of these, test them out. Some of them are probably going to be too crazy. Some of them might not be crazy enough. It's really kind of like the Goldilocks method of just like, does this feel right? No.
Yeah.
Does this feel right?
Yeah.
Until you have your go-tos.
I feel like I spend the most time in there just like clicking through everything, even though I always end up with the same one.
With Bob.
With the bob, but it's still fun to like see. So right now we're animating in, and then we're bobbing, and then we drift it out of the page. So how do we think that feels?
I'm mesmerized.
Okay, we like it. The only thing, the only thing for me is when you animate out of the page, you end up without the thing you animated. And that's the only thing where I'm like, how do I feel about that?
Maybe we don't animate it out. Maybe we just have it kind of float amongst the stars, you know?
Yeah, I think I like that better, just so we don't lose our product. Because that's what we're trying to show today. We're trying to showcase our product. And so let's save it. You can hit this little arrow, and then you can download as an MP4, and you can hit download, and it does that. And then you can even start a new page or like do a different thing, and nothing will stop this. Like it won't have a problem. It won't be interrupted. So let's go back here. We're gonna go back to my stuff. And let me view all of them. And I wonder if when I click, does it save it as an animation automatically? I think so, right?
I'm not sure. I guess
Let's see.
We'll find out together. Oh, maybe.
Maybe? Where's my animation layer?
I don't think it did.
No, I think it just... Oh, maybe because it wasn't... There we go.
There, yeah. Wasn't fully saved yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that's it.
Videos and stuff like that do take a little bit longer to save onto.
I don't know what's happening. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Now that we have that one... Okay, no, I don't want to...
I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat how you use animation in your work.
Please.
I think our default is like social media, but like I'm sure there are people doing it in different ways that like we haven't even considered. So it'd be nice to kind of just share a little bit about how everyone uses it.
Yeah, please let us know. I'm really curious because obviously same. I just use it for animating like my illustrations primarily and for social media. So
yeah,
definitely let us know. Okay. I don't know. I was trying something and we're just going to go back to the brand folder. Let's go out and we're going to animate. Which one do we want? Yeah, I think this one.
I feel like you can have fun with this one.
Mm-hmm. And I think in the other one, we didn't even animate the stars, but we can absolutely go in and start animating every single aspect. And maybe that's what we'll do today. So same, we're gonna select.
And if you guys weren't with us for Itzel's first class of the day, Dead Inside is a sticker that she created for this company, Pixley Oddities. Did I say that correct?
Yeah, Pixley's Oddities.
Pixley's Oddities, and their whole thing is that they do tattoos, they sell quirky items, but they also do taxidermy. So the Dead Inside is a kind of fun play on that, not just like a very happy but depressing sticker.
Okay, so I am...
Oh, folks are saying that they use the animations to create graphics for a TV screen. And that could be really interesting if you own like a brick and mortar and you have a TV on in the background, like something that is like a little bit of motion. I like that.
That's such a great idea. I mean, you just like gave me an idea because this spot has like an old school TV.
Cute.
Like a VHS, and I'm like, I wonder how we can make her something like an animation and then have it on a VHS and then have it playing when people are at the store.
I think you would have to find a TV with a VHS, like that, either play or connect it. We're aging ourselves right now.
Yeah.
And then record, just like you used to record
Yeah.
VHSs to like record whatever was on TV. That could be kind of fun.
That'd be
Thank
so
you
cool.
for the idea, Anthony. Thank you for sharing too how you use your animation. That just sparked some.
Yeah, that would be so fun. And then Jeff is also saying, I'm experimenting with the Celtic rope animation. I can't seem to do it in my video editor, but I think Express may be way easier.
Interesting.
Definitely. And I mean, the thing about Express is it's really easy and it's really quick. So you don't lose anything by trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it might work out, and then you don't have to be stressing out. And then Kane, you have some of my stickers. I'm so excited.
Yay.
That makes me happy. I design a lot of stickers.
Yeah, Itzel has really cute stickers, really cute hats, some little like keychains.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely check out her website for all sorts of like really playful goodies.
I know. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa.
I kind of like this wiggling.
Yeah, I'm Wiggle's my go-to. I'm a wiggler. So if you show me that, I'm like, yeah, I like that. That's nice.
You're like biased, but
I am biased. I'm sorry, but it is fun to see all the other options. I feel like I've also used the one that rolls in and rolls out, but specifically if I'm drawing things that are circular, like Earth or Mars. It's kind of cute to be like, "Brrr, welcome in."
Yeah, I feel like I use this, but I don't use it enough.
Yeah.
Like I should do it more often because this is so fun and I have so many illustrations. Like I should be doing it. Jeff says eBay sells VHS players. Okay, great. I think she has a VHS player.
I feel like if she has an old school TV, she probably does.
Yeah.
Be kind of fun.
Yeah, because she has a setup where she plays like just movies, old school movies.
Now I'm like, oh, VHS player, Blockbuster. Like I'm going down memory lane
yeah.
in my head.
Sorry, we're dissociating to think about our childhood. I like the typewriter animation.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I was too busy thinking about movies, but I'll have to check it out next time.
Okay.
So it's doing its thing right now.
Mm-hmm. 90%.
Almost there.
Yay. Perfect. And actually, let me just open up my downloads and I want to show you what we have so far. So basically, we took this static flyer and then we turned it into this fun little thing.
It really pops when it's in comparison to the static one. Like it kind of makes you realize like, oh yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And that all came from this. So essentially, like you could have posted this and like, sure, that shows the product, but then you have a lovely flyer that fits your brand way more and looks more interesting. And what better way to make it pop than to make it literally pop with animation on Express? And so our second one, here's the static one, and then our animation. I feel like the dead inside can move a little faster now that I'm seeing it, but
No, it's trial and error. You don't want it to go so fast that people are like, what?
yeah, like, whoa.
So yeah, we can just edit that quickly.
And so, but I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna animate our last one.
Bumper sticker.
Yay! Franco says, I'm working on making a logo movable so that it fits into a presentation.
Like it comes into it or just scales fits into it? I'm curious, Franco. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Also, I just wanted to see the typewriter animation. I'm like, is it in here, the typewriter you're talking about? Or...
I kind of liked that aggressive wiggle though, because I could picture it with like the right music in the background, really of working with the dead inside theme.
I don't know where the typewriter is.
We'll have to find it
Yeah.
at some other point.
Yeah, Anthony, you'll have to tell us if that's on Express or somewhere else. But yeah, you guys let us know if you have any questions as well. anything about what we're doing, the templates, the animation, Express, or anything about small businesses, because
Yeah.
that's what we do. Nikki said, this is so cute. I'm glad we have drop shadows now. I know, I do too.
They're really helpful, especially when you're doing product visuals or photography or anything. Adding those shadows makes it really feel like more premium.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And we're opening this up. Let's see.
I think animation's going to work especially nice for this like Instagram story graphic,
Yes.
because you have a split second to get someone's attention on a story.
Absolutely. And I think this is where I really want to try this wild.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
It's really fun.
Okay. And then
Wow.
maybe there, like it's flying. Maybe we
It
don't
feels
want
like a little bat. Oh.
I
It's
know,
just
I'm
like,
maybe we don't want it to squish so much, but we do want it to like speak to the fairies and our little like clouds in the background. So we definitely want it to feel like flying.
I think this one's my favorite so far. It just like really works naturally with everything else that you've got going on.
I know, me too. I kind of like that. What do you... Let's see. And then the speed, we can change it.
Oh, it's like inching up there. It's like,
Aw.
oh.
What do we like?
I kind of liked when it was fast and kooky, but that's just my personal preference. You pick whatever you're vibing with.
Let's see. And then pin area. Oh, I see. I like the center.
It kind of just bounces there. That's
Yeah.
nice.
And then the speed, let's see. I think I like that. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah, I really like that. I like how it just kind of like,
Yeah, it was faster at some point, but I don't know. Maybe it was more squished.
maybe that's what it was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bouncy.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's definitely like bird.
That's bat.
Oh
I
yeah.
need to draw a bat.
Yes. And here are some ideas. Okay. but
Cute.
It might be too wild for a bumper sticker, so I think I like that.
That's cute.
And then I think I want to animate the logo a little bit as well. I want it to stay there, so I think I'm just gonna loop animate it. I don't want it to be blurry. Let's see.
You know I'm going to root for a wiggle.
I know.
But I'm going to let you go through all of them until you decide that wiggle is the right way to go.
I know, and same with me. I'm like, I want it to bob.
Well, you don't want it to be too... You don't want the logo to overpower the
No,
product. So it does have
definitely
to be a
not.
more subdued animation.
Does that look creepy?
No, I think it looks good. And I know someone was asking before about hyperlinking directly into Express, and you can do that, but I wouldn't recommend for stories to do that, because when you save it and upload it onto like Instagram or something, it's not gonna be able to continue that hyperlink thread. So definitely just like leave the space within the stories design to do a hyperlink there. If you're doing a presentation, a PDF or something, that's a little bit different, but in this case, you wouldn't be able to hyperlink.
Yeah. And then you can always just like add it after, I think.
It's easier.
I think so. So let's see what we have. Wait. Whoa. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. I'm a fan.
I'm a fan too. This kind of seems like it barely moves, but
Oh, I didn't notice that movie.
right? Okay. So maybe what about this? There. I think I like that because I see the movement, but it's not taking away from our bumper sticker, which is what we want to be the focus. Yeah. Let me see, and then I'm gonna download it. And then there was a question. Have you used Express Page? Have you used Express Page?
Any ideas on how you would use it in place of a regular website? I feel like that's one of the few features I haven't played with an Express, so I'm not really sure how to answer your question, Jeff, but you've given me a lot to think about. Maybe I'll have to poke around and play with that later.
Yeah. Let's see. So now, and I want to do the comparison because it's so fun. Here we have our story, our static story. I'm going to move it so you can see it. And
nice. Looks good.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect. Yeah, I know. See, it's mirrored. And then,
wow.
Ta-da!
Okay, number 2 takes it. Like, I'm sold.
And if you do it, I think 3 to 4 seconds, I think 4 seconds, it will loop on Instagram, and then I know that's better for the algorithm, for whoever is into that. And you know, Brittany was saying in the past stream that people have to see things at least 7 times to remember them. And I knew already that you have to post things several times, but I was not aware that it was like studies show that it's 7. She said 7 to 22, wild. I think, which I'm like, I cannot imagine showing something 22 times, but that's really great advice.
I mean, kudos to everyone on this that is a small business owner, because I think that's a perfect example of just like how hard it is to get noticed, and the fact that you're doing it is already such a big win. And for whatever reason, it feels like cringy when like I'm the one showing you something 7 times, 10 times, whatever, but we don't blink an eye when Nike runs another ad about shoes, you know?
Yeah.
So I think we have to remember that. It's like, no, like we're a business. We're doing this. It's important that we get our work out there.
That's what you're here to do. You have to show people your work, and that's how they're gonna like recognize you and be attracted to it and like want to engage with it, whether that means buying or following or whatever that means.
And I was going to say, which is why it's so important to show like your fellow small business, like friends and creators love. I think just something as simple as engaging with people's social content goes a long way in helping.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do not forget to like and follow. Yeah, and then I just wanted to show you, we're nearing the end-ish. I'm probably going to show you a couple more things, but I wanted to show you this right now. Skip tour. When you go into Express, right here on the left, we have the schedule, and when you select it, we have the personal calendar where you can save your posts. So let's say I just made that design, and I don't know if I have it connected on this account. Okay, I do. But basically that post, I can select my channel. This is selecting my TikTok. And come on.
Browse.
Okay. And then I can just do this one that we did. Upload. And then it's saving, and here I can write, check out, this is fake because obviously that's not my business, but we could say something like, check out our newest arrival, the bumper sticker. And if I'm like, oh, this sounds kind of boring, maybe Adobe can help me generate like a better caption, and you can select here, you can rewrite it, and it's gonna come up with something for you, which is really helpful if you're kind of stuck or you're someone that struggles writing captions. I have a lot of friends that's the thing they hate the most, is like writing the caption. So this feature definitely helps. Have you ever tried this feature out?
I did not know it was a thing till today.
Yeah.
I just learned, and now I'm like, I'm a fan. Also, like, I think I often find myself saying like the same thing over and over again. So it's just nice to be like, hey, Express, help me get this message across, but in a way that feels fresh.
Yeah, definitely. And so like we went from check out our newest arrival, the bumper sticker, to discover our latest gem, the must-have bumper sticker. Get yours today. And if I'm like, you know what, that seems really short, I can just go in here and then lengthen, and it's gonna come up with something. I mean, that's, I guess from 1, it went to 2 lines. So, and then you can add your emojis right here.
Cute.
So it just makes it really fun.
And this also lets you schedule it, which is nice, because I think half the battle sometimes with with me publishing anything on social media, and I don't know if you feel this way, once I'm in the app, it's so easy to get distracted.
Oh, yeah.
And a task that should have taken 5 seconds is like, oh, why am I on my like best friend's dog's social media account scrolling back 2 years?
Oh, yeah. You completely get sidetracked so easily. Yeah. So, and here it gives you like suggestions for when you can publish it. So I want to show you a few things. One is we can go in here, we can generate captions and tweak them as many times as you want. And then, for example, right here, I had chosen to post it at TikTok. So you can automatically like choose to disable the comments, duet, stitch from here. And then you can publish now or schedule or save it as a draft. But also it will give you, for example, here, it gives you tips on like when it would be good to post these.
Oh.
Yeah, so for example, it's suggesting National Small Business Week. And if you select it or like if you highlight it, it tells you like when that starts, like when National Small Business Week runs, which is really great. And actually it's running now, which is why we're here.
Yeah.
But like you can, like it just gives you ideas of when you can post it and you're like, oh, I was gonna post it tomorrow, but actually it would probably do better in social media if it's tied to Small Business Week.
Mm-hmm.
And so that way you can do that and then you can preview it or you can schedule it. I'm gonna close it right now because I'm not actually posting, but I think that is a good tip if you don't want to get distracted or you don't want to forget about it or you want to like set it and forget it essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then another really fun thing is when you go into this personal calendar, you can also see like Express will automatically give you ideas for what you can post. I guess like post ideas. So for example, here, growth tips. And if you select it, it says like share tips on how to target on how your target audience can grow their business or career. And then it automatically like shows you like create a social post and it'll take you to a post that Express is recommending would match this theme, like the growth tips, for example. And so it also has like Mother's Day and big calendar events. But how it started, what inspired you to start your journey? So this calendar section is also really great if you're ever stuck with being like, I need to post something, but I have no clue what to post. I'm like out of ideas. You can go into here and then just get inspired by what to post.
I think another thing that this section does really well is to give you inspiration on how to like stretch beyond just like, here's my product, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, if like the bumper sticker, like, yeah, she could just be like, here's my bumper sticker, buy it. But it's like, no, why did I design the bumper sticker? Itzel, you shared that story earlier about how a customer asked for the sticker to be designed. Great. That's a story within itself. Okay, let's do behind the scenes of the sticker being created. Maybe there's a video of the sticker being placed on the car. So one little sticker got you 5, 10, 15 different pieces of content, which works towards the, what was it, 22 times that someone has to see something?
That's such a great point. Right. I mean, the minimum is 7. So, right, if you come up with 7, consider it a success. But yeah, that's such a great idea because I think as a small business owner, that's part of the challenge is how do I show this product several times without being like, buy my product several times.
Yeah.
And so that's a great idea to like show it, but also show the story and not be repetitive. And then go into Express and have all kinds, like literally thousands of templates that allow you to do so. So right there, yeah, it's just like so easy to come up with different ideas. And yeah, do you have any other like tips from?
I mean, I think within this personal calendar section, I would say like another big tip is that as small business owners, one of our greatest assets is that we are small business owners, that like people can connect with the real person behind the product.
Absolutely.
That is something that helps us stand out against like these like really big companies that may be doing something similar. So it can be a little bit like uncomfortable at first, but like sharing the story behind the product is gonna go a really long way into helping people connect with you. And that might be the difference between them deciding to like buy from you, Itzel, versus
buying a sticker from like a random website that no one really knows like who's behind the work. So if you're like kind of new to this space, going through this personal calendar is a really good way to get a sense of not only content ideas, but like larger story structure ideas that you can weave into everything that you do.
Yeah, and every month has different ideas for the whole year, so there's definitely not a shortage of ideas or different designs that you can create using Express. And I think we are at the end. So thank you so much for spending today with us. We are so happy to have been here. This was so lovely. Find us on Instagram, and we can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Yay! Thanks for spending your day with us.
Gracias. Bye.
Bye.